what I mean?
Dirty diaper.
Knuckle.
Dirty diaper.
Knuckle. Anybody on the line?
Daddy don't did it again.
Well, we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Waiting.
I like having fun. I like to laugh. I like to meet people who can make me laugh.
All right, good morning, everybody!
Yes, I like it too.
It is Friday. Wow, how about that, Doug? It's Friday. TGIF.
TGIFT.
Thank God.
TGIFT.
This is a big, beautiful, just a huge day in Office Hours history. It's going to be one of those we look back on fondly. Maybe a future best episode contender if we get some of the crinkling down.
Right on schedule.
I want nothing more than this to be a great episode, but with all that crinkling, it's going to be hard.
I'm not gonna touch the foods.
Right on schedule.
Right on schedule. We
Right
are
on
live,
schedule.
broadcasting across the globe. We have people watching all over. You can't imagine. We have people in
Shanghai,
Scotland,
Tiananmen Square.
Tiananmen Square. If you've got a smart device,
Right.
you're in.
Not in Russia.
No, we're not going to.
Putin said no. Putin said no yet.
I've been asked to not bring that subject up.
Putin?
The Russian thing.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have a lot of.
Why? He bumps people out?
It's sensitive. And
Cancel culture.
There's
back
both.
at work.
Well, listen. I'm very sympathetic to both sides of the situation. No, of course.
What about the bombs? They want to be used?
Of course. I mean, the whole military-industrial complex is on trial.
Guess what?
Yeah.
There's people behind those. You call it the military-industrial complex.
Right.
There's
Hard
human
workers.
beings. Yeah.
Factory guys.
How about the guys who designed the bombs?
Blue.
They have kids.
Right. You got to clear the inventory. Got to make way for the new stuff.
I mean, there's a place for everybody.
Speaking of bombing, this is what I do for a living, bombing. Now, listen, it's a long time coming. I don't really understand why this guy hasn't been on the show.
Why?
It's because I hadn't asked. So I do understand. And I'm going to get into why I didn't ask, because I think that's an interesting subject. Why I didn't ask.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
You have a theory?
Of course I have a theory.
Oh, let's get into the theory.
You two suck.
You know how it's going to be.
Well, this whole thing about how your career started and how you made a connection in Hollywood, and it's got to be a bit of a challenge for you and for Eric, I would imagine. Because, what did I do? I didn't do much. I did something. I kind of did.
You're going down the wrong path.
But it's not that important because in the end, you did all this work all by yourself and totally.
But you're going down the wrong path.
So people always want to go, hey, tell about Bob.
Right,
Odenkirk
right,
did.
sure.
Odenkirk. No.
All it was is nothing but respect for you and your time, and honestly, get this show to a place where I would be proud enough to have you on it. Not when things aren't working and Doug is
over here
acting out.
Yeah, pressing the wrong button all the time.
So we just wanted to be in a place where
you just gave him one button now, which is like
the funny button.
Good job.
All right, let's get into the interview real quick. Because I have a lot of nerves here because I consider us friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of people in show business definitely acquaintances.
Yes, but we go back now. We could say we go back.
So. Yeah.
And I have pictures of you holding my children.
Yeah.
I have
Running
pictures
away.
of me holding you, trying to pick you up. But I want this to go well, and so I just thought we could start with something a little more formal. It's usually much more loose as it is right now. Yeah. But I think because we're recording this and some things are going to live in posterity, let's just stick to the script.
Exactly.
So hey everybody! All right, let's take.
Pretend we're just.
This show is loose. I like that.
No, it's not loose. It's tight. Hey, everybody. Hey, everyone. I should say, hey, I'm just going to read this. I could riff off this, but I'm going to read it.
No, do it right.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Office Hours Live. I'm your host, Tim Heidecker, and my guest today is the one and only Bob Odenkirk.
Hey, Tim. Happy to be here.
We're so glad to hear that. We've got a lot to get to, but why don't we start with a simple one? What have you been up to?
Oof, well, I recently had a heart attack. I'm currently starring in Better Call Saul, which is on the AMC movie channel. I was also in Mr. Show and other movies.
Cool. And what was this movie Nobody you were in all about?
Well, it's an action movie, Tim, where I fight bad guys to protect my family.
And you wrote a book?
Yes.
Is it an autobiography?
Yes.
Tell me more about the book and the new show on AMC.
Well, the book is about my life and growing up, as well as many jobs I've had as an actor and a writer. My new show, Better Call Paul, is about my character Saul Goodman, who was on Breaking Bad, starring Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
It's the story of a lawyer in Mexico.
Is it a lot of fun to be an actor?
Well, it's fun, but it's also hard work.
Did you always want to be an actor?
Yes.
What time is the show Better Call Saul on?
It's on 9 p.m. on AMC.
9 p.m. it is, and I will be tuning in.
I'll be tuning in as well to watch myself. I also tune in each and every week to Office Hours Live with Tim Heidecker. It is a fun show, and Tim, as you are already aware, I love to laugh. So thank you for inviting me on as a guest, Tim, and sign up for the Patreon while you're at it. Okay? Patreon.com/back Office Hours Live.
Thanks, Bob, for your support.
End.
All right, well, thanks for coming in.
That was 2 hours?
Yeah.
It felt like 10 minutes.
Well, I don't know. Do you want to?
It felt like 8 hours.
All right. So now that what I'm happy about is we have the clip.
Right. Now,
this
you
is,
can just put that out
yeah,
and edit the rest of it away.
Exactly. So now let's have fun. Let's
Wheat
loosen
and
up.
chaff.
So this is what we like to do. I said, Bob, I got a couple bits.
I heard you pretend to be loose here.
Yeah.
And but that a lot of work goes into looking loose. Like, it's that thing of like, you want to make it look easy? Hey, hit
work
the
on
bricks.
It.
You know?
Yeah, 10,000 hours.
Yeah. And I've heard that that's what goes on here.
Well, I want to thank you for your gracious time that you put in last night, because what we do is we come here and we run it and run it and run it and run it. We were here for hours.
It's really like Broadway. And
and this was
I'm used to it.
Just a little part. Just a little part of the equation.
Yeah.
But we have all this other stuff is off book now. You feel comfortable enough being off book?
Absolutely. I'm ready to go.
Because we have the pages if you want to.
Okay. Know? And we have my understudy. So if I fall apart, get that guy in here.
Bring him in.
Young guy, and I think he's great.
Let's do this. Let's just take a call because I can't. The excitement is. You okay?
Palpable.
I think
I'm making.
I would take your jacket off.
Noises.
Stay a while.
All right. I'm just.
Thanks for talking to us.
What the hell was that?
Did you see the Trump and Piers Morgan clip?
I did. I loved it.
It's so.
I only wish
wet.
Piers Morgan had said, "Why are you sweating? What's going on? Are you okay?"
Doesn't. You know why he didn't? Because he was also like they both look like shiny, wet men.
What a terrible
Trump
question
was
to
out.
ask.
Trump looked like he was in a steam room for sure.
Right.
But you know why he's sweating. It's the same reason you sweat when you were 8 years old and you took something at the store and got caught.
Well, there's that.
He knows it's a fucking lie, and he's finally meeting someone who's looking him in the eye.
His friend.
And going, that's not true. And he's sweating.
Flop sweat.
It is pure.
But his skin feels like
sweat.
it's falling apart. His skin feels like it's just eroding off his.
Well, I
cheeks.
feel bad.
You feel bad for him.
Well, anybody who has a physical challenge like that,
But man, it does. I said somebody in post in VFX should put just steam room background around it. That sound.
Just to justify it.
Yeah. So okay, there's a lot going on. People are probably very confused.
Yeah, like what do I?
Which is my bread and butter.
Right.
We like
you
to
get
keep
them in that place,
keep their heads
and
spinning.
they love it.
Tom is here instead of Matt. Matt's out sick. Vic is. We should just say Vic.
You are fired.
Is
That's what Tim said earlier to Vic.
yeah.
You are fired.
We had a big argument.
But you want to tell people where Vic is?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, about a half hour before the show began, Vic has this little dog that the audience knows, Rosie. I have a dog. You couldn't script it better than this. I have a black dog.
Oh.
This is a white dog. This is sort of like a
Good
Western.
and evil. Yeah. I mean, it's just...
My dog, who's I'll say it, an old bitch.
It's just a technical term. It's not.
It doesn't really, it's no judgment.
Yeah, there's no judgment.
But she, which has never happened before, she comes down here and starts giving Rosie shit. She starts giving her like a little that kind of shit going on. Rosie, who's this little thing, little ball of energy, darts out the room.
Of course.
Bing! And immediately runs down into nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, where?
Yeah.
Who knows?
The fuck knows? Is this the hills where you live?
Yeah.
This is like Ewell Gibbons territory. And if you know that reference, you're as old as me.
What is
Granola. You ever eat a pine tree?
Oh, yeah. What about the Grizzly Adams? Could be that territory.
It's Grizzly Adams territory, which younger audience might know because it's for kids.
Oh, yeah. Much young. The
Did you watch
Gen Z.
Grizzly Adams?
You know.
It's still too old for you.
It was on in like syndication.
Oh, see.
And I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on there. Yeah. You know what I loved after school? Well into my high school days. A little show called Little House on the Prairie.
Really?
Yeah.
Never watched it.
Oh, I found it so soothing. It was just like a warm bath.
Yeah.
There's
nothing wrong with that.
No. But anyways, so Vic and the whole crew, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of dudes here who love and care about animals.
Yeah.
I'm standing here going like, we got it. Bob's coming. The show must go on.
The world needs more entertainment.
So, I was so mad because you just want things. First of all, you come in here. We obviously put the red carpet out. Right. We had the step and repeat. We have Getty Images here taking pictures. Right. It's a big day. And this fucking dog.
Yeah, decides to have his brain fart on
tiny little brain.
Yeah.
And I hope Vic loves this dog.
Finds a body.
I hope Vic becomes at peace with whatever happens.
Yeah, whatever happens. We wish our friend well.
Yes. And
come to terms with it. Not even peace. Just to come to terms.
I had a dog split on me several years ago when I lived in our other early before kids. This dog was you a dog guy?
You're like, I'm a dog guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
This dog of mine, we took the dog out for a shit, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was a dark night. As opposed to
start a novel right now.
Are we recording this? This dog runs out into the street. Car hits the dog. It's a big dog. Yeah. Car hits the dog. Black dog. Boom! Starts running down the street, like disappears into the night.
Yeah.
And I freak out. I'm freaking out. I start running after the dog. Thank God this dog is found like 30 minutes later, like a couple miles away, like on the other side of the river.
Right. They can just go,
So I feel terrible for Vic. Let's keep him in our thoughts. And
I hope he finds his dog soon. And I hope he finds 2 dogs.
I hope he finds a backup dog on the way. Yeah. Or a rat or some animal.
Comes back with 2.
Squirrel. Anyways, let's take a call, Tom.
Sure, yeah.
Ground control to
Major
Tom.
Do you seriously take calls?
We have a Zoomer who's got a question for Bob.
Of course.
We got Zoom.
Okay. People are so excited to talk.
Chesy, I just unmuted you.
Okay.
Who's there?
Hi.
I'm not picking people. Hey, handsome.
Hey, thanks. I've got a question for Bob. That's cool.
Where are you calling from, by the way?
Calling from England, South England. Yeah.
Pretty fancy.
Jolly old.
He's one of those beef eaters.
Where the Family Examiner's from.
Yes, we're going to get to that, Doug. Thank you for reminding me.
Well, I'm queuing it up.
I'll just tease it. Bob brought this gift, and he's telling. What was your? Do you know this book, sir?
No, I don't think so.
People in England don't even know. It's the funniest book ever made. It's like a pretend local paper in England. It was I believe, a website that was put together by a couple comedy writers for 10 years or so. And then they made a compilation of the book recently, and it's just so packed with really great laughs. It's just the funniest. I just always laugh when I pick it up. And I try to
Hey,
tell
well-
people about it because that's what it's just some weird drive that I have. That when I see something that I like,
I'm going to read one because right off the bat, it got me. This is like a classified ad on the front. Sorry, I've got a little dyslexia. Child's Paul Simon costume, worn once, 30 pounds. Child's Paul Simon costume? What the hell is that?
She's a great choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, your question for Bob.
Yeah. How much of success is just luck, do you think?
Now that's a tee-off question, Bob. What he's not looking for.
Ayo.
What he's not looking for is a percentage or a number. He wants to lead you into a conversation.
Wait,
about
what are you
luck.
inferring by that question, though? That's the rude part.
No,
Well, I
know.
think if you know my career, you know that I've worked really, really, really hard and every day, and I just like to work. But then the things that have been particularly successful for me have had a great deal of luck, especially Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
I mean, that I didn't create any parts of those shows.
Yeah.
And I didn't even deserve either of them, really. I can understand
who
who
deserves what, but
well, if you were to say, like, for instance, Breaking Bad, I can see where if all you were going to do is have Saul Goodman be the commercial who goes, come see me, then I could see hiring me off Mr. Show because
it's a sketch.
Yeah, it's sketch level
broad
characterization.
Character. Yeah.
But then here comes a scene with Bryan Cranston, and it's a long monologue that's 3 pages long, and I talk through most of it, and there needs to be some reality and grounding and texture to it that I haven't necessarily shown unless you watched really close. But even then, who knows if I just did that by accident.
Right.
So, like, I didn't deserve that, and I didn't audition for it or read for it.
Yeah.
And then Better Call Saul, even times 30.
Right.
The feeling of like, okay, I did Saul in Breaking Bad, great fun, still mostly kind of funny and kind of a scammy guy, and then now we're going to give him a bunch of turbulent inner life shit.
The idea that out of that first show that you would line up all the characters that were beloved on that show and pick that character to do a whole other show seems, in retrospect, very, very like a genius move. But at the time, it must have seemed like
crazy.
Really?
Well, I think one of the things
I remember
this
thinking
is total conjecture on
like,
my part.
what is this? What is this going to be? Is it going to be like a comedy? I don't get it.
Well, they didn't know at first either.
Yeah.
They were talking about a half-hour comedy and a 1-hour procedural. And then they ended up going closer to Breaking Bad, but still not the same, but closer.
Yeah.
And so that's just crazy. When I think about this all the time, actually, this question of yours, because of course we all know lots of people in this business who are so talented, and they just don't get that big massive lucky break.
Yeah.
But I think the bottom line, though, for me, when I look at that equation, is I wasn't unhappy without Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. I was struggling for a couple of years there. I had a hard time getting stuff to turn and sort of take off. But I even knew then that this is just a numbers thing.
Yeah.
And some of these projects I'm doing are really good, and some of them don't deserve a chance.
Right.
And I know that if I just keep going, I'll get some traction on one of these things. And because they're good enough, because I know they are, because I'm able to be objective enough that I think I can do the math on this thing. And while it's frustrating when you have a young family and financial challenges, which I don't even know how I got into a hole, it doesn't make any sense.
It's the trips to Reno.
Yeah.
But you have a line in your book that crystallizes this: is that you've worked as hard on the things that didn't work as you did on the things that did work.
It's
or
true.
if not even more.
And it's not and weirdly that might sound like there's nothing you can learn, but there is a lot you can learn. You can still grow and get better at what you do. But the bottom line is I'm working just as hard. I really am. I'm giving everything I got. I'm thinking it through on every level. And at some point with any show or anything you do, there's a jump off the cliff moment where we got to start making it. And maybe
so
it'll
much is
turn
beyond
out.
your control. It has to deal with the whims of an audience. It has to do with the whoever's running the network. There's so many variables that all you can do is do what you do.
So I think the level of success that I got with these projects, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, that's luck, right? But just having a job in the business and doing work that you like, I think that can be achieved through hard work, and that is good enough for me.
Yeah,
that was good enough for me, and it would have still been good enough.
And life is more than work. Life is about
there's that too. Although it's very hard to get your brain to remember that.
I mean, I struggle with that. I struggle with that every day.
Well, we all do, because not only do we like what we do, which makes us just want to do it with our. I mean, left to my own devices, I'll start writing some silly shit on a piece of paper, and thinking, what if we acted this out? Or, I mean, it's just what I would do.
And then you want to see it, the best version of that exist for other people to see.
So it's just what I do, but then we just live in a crazy time. And I said this in Variety the other day. I did an interview, and this last thing that I said,
page to page on Variety. Sorry.
I only bring it up, Tim, because I was sometimes in interviews you ramble and you say, and then you later read it and you go like, eesh, what did I say?
Yeah.
And I said something like, I'm going to try to slow down. I've been doing so much and I got to slow down, and I got to put some space in there so I can enjoy what I've done and see what I've done and have casual interactions.
Yeah.
That you don't have when you're just working. We just got to get this thing done. We just got to get it to the next place. And I said something like, because otherwise you're just waking up and working out at 4 a.m. and meditating and going to work for 14 hours, and that's fucking stupid or something. I said, or that's
pathetic.
I said, it's like, that's pathetic, really judgmental, really harsh.
Right.
And it only makes sense if you read. Thankfully, they printed what I said before it.
Right.
Oftentimes, they take that shit out of context.
When you think about somebody reading that who can't get out of bed and is watching The Price is Right, and, eating Fritos for breakfast, they feel probably more pathetic after reading that. We have to take one
look. Find out what the bottom line is. Here's what's really lucky: finding something that you love to do enough that you would do it almost for free.
Yeah.
And that you can, and that there's a version of it that you can do for a living. Some people, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
They don't know it. They haven't found it.
Do you find? Well, I want to ask you a question, but first I want to do, because the audience demands it. We have to do the City of the Day. It's just the thing we have to do. You understand that. You understand that. I know this is not something that we talked about, but you can appreciate format. You can appreciate structure.
Yeah, I didn't read the.
You're a guy that. Okay, watch this.
City of the Day.
All right. The City of the Day is brought to you by Kevin Morby's More Bees. And this is a video commercial. Watch this. Video commercial.
Are you a student who wants to be cool but doesn't want to flunk out of school? You don't want to get A's either. A's are for nerds. With this DVD, I'll teach you just enough math and science to get those B's. You don't want people to think you're some kind of egghead. I get straight A's, A+. Because B's are just right. Not too dumb, not too bright. I'm Kevin Morby. And this is The Base. Me like B's, and me like DVD. I made way too many of these fucking DVDs. They're in the back of my Ford, and I'd rather push a Ford than drive a Chevy. If you don't buy this DVD, I'll drive the Ford straight into the Pacific Ocean. Don't believe me? Here's what a satisfied customer says.
I watched Kevin Morby's More Bees DVDs, and my grades went from D's and C's to big fat B's. I'm glad I didn't get any A's. Thanks, Kevin.
If you want to grow up to be a slacker indie rocker just like me, you're going to need Kevin Morby's More Bees on DVD. Kevin Morby's More Bees DVD, only available at the merch table at Kevin Morby Concerts.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kevin. Of course.
I love the bass playing. Wow.
Yeah.
What a groove.
Our City of the Day is, do we have a City of the Day?
Yeah, we have Shelby.
Shelby.
Shelby, can you say something?
Foot.
Hi.
Remember
Shelby.
Shelby Foot?
Hi, Bob. Hi, Doug.
Hi.
Hi. So where are you calling from? What's the City of the Day?
The city of the day, Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, I love Lexington, Kentucky, by the way. I love it.
What do you love about it?
Well, I went to college in Carbondale, Illinois.
Southern
2
Illinois.
years. Southern Illinois. Very
Down
far
there at
south.
the bottom.
Pretty much the same. What are those lines on
Mason
the
Dixon.
globe?
The latitude.
Oh, the latitude.
Latitude.
Same
It's like
latitude.
almost the same latitude as Lexington, and that's perfect weather, Tim.
The
It
Blue
snows
Mountains.
about an inch. It goes away by 11 a.m.
Right,
on
yeah.
the day that it snows once a year.
The Appalachians.
It's like it's a little too humid at
Sure.
times, but it's kind of like it's got seasons, and yet it doesn't get fucking bitter cold. It's ridiculous.
We got Will Oldham down there.
I also just like I like the everything except the Confederate statues. I like.
We're taking those down slowly.
What about all the?
Let's go. Let's get them down. That thing was over a
Oxycontin?
long time ago. Let's move on.
You're one of these guys that wants to take the statues down.
I'm one of these guys who wants to think about what's next.
You know what
not
I d-
what that back
I did a bit.
stuff.
I did a bit. You know, bits. I did a bit about the idea of statues in general is a little antiquated. The idea that you
Yeah.
got to go see a guy. That's what he looked like. That's what Christopher Columbus looked
Yeah,
like.
this is
Now we
before
have
TV.
now we have
You had a
pictures
fire
and video.
and a statue.
We're gonna go see what Rocky Balboa looked like.
Bob, do you want a statue of like a future?
The Three Stooges.
You said you wanted to look into the future, so
I'm
a
just
statue
saying-
of someone that would be in the future, maybe.
That is not a good way to marry those notions.
Statue of somebody in the future.
I think, yeah. I mean, I'm just like, let's aim forward. Let's go, whoever's forward thinking. I'm interested in hearing people who are thinking about presenting me a better future.
Yeah, I hear you. Not looking back.
Yeah. Because I
Lexington,
don't know
Kentucky.
why there were things that were great about yesterday.
The song, for example.
The song. But mostly, things could be better than they were.
I agree. It's beautiful.
to the future.
It's a beautiful angle. So Lexington, you got is that a what's that behind you on the wall? It looks like some kind of bootleg Scotty from Bedtime Stories thing. See that?
I embroidered him. I
Look at
was
that.
on about a year
That's
ago.
me. That's one of
Yeah.
my characters, Bob.
Oh.
Let me
Big
say
Bedtime
something.
Now,
This
are
book,
you in Lexington?
Yeah.
Now, there's an Abraham Lincoln cabin near you.
There is. I actually went
That's
to
right. I've been there too.
college at Transylvania, where that is.
And I actually have a little bit of folk art from there. A little carved Abraham Lincoln that I love so much.
he's got to be the best, right?
My
Link.
mantle, he's about that high.
Link's
He's
the
great.
best.
Yeah.
Top 10, Prez?
Top one. Oh man, he knocks everybody off the pedestal. I mean, I'm glad George Washington was pretty great,
Yeah.
but Lincoln beats all.
Well, that's it's contentious.
Really?
We have a lot of people very upset about. Well, you're an Illinois guy, I get it.
Yeah.
Listen, this book. I don't want to promote this too much.
It's the best I could do.
It's a great read. It's incredibly breezy and light, and
tried
it
to
feels
keep
like
it
your
moving.
voice.
Good.
It answers a lot of questions about where some of your core comedy, structure comes from, or your love of the weird, and
Yeah.
but for me, reading it and hitting the chapter on me,
Yeah.
it's the most surreal thing
Is that
I've ever
weird as
happened.
hell?
It's so weird. I was almost numb to it.
I have a bone.
Because I was like, this isn't me. This is somebody else that you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to really process it. It was very kind. It was very generous that it soaked up like more than a sentence. It was a several page.
Well, I think you and Eric have been like massively influential in comedy. And I think more than Mr. Show. Mr. Show no. I mean, we did a great job, and we wanted to we wanted to aim high and do something. But you guys kind of broke down a lot of sort of. It's just the meta, your ability to see to make fun of the form of forms in our communication systems is something we didn't or even try to do, and we just didn't do.
Well,
because
you
we
guys
didn't
were
think
so
like that. We're just not like you guys. You guys are more like filmmakers and artists, and we're more like grubby coal miners.
Very great craftsmen of the sketch.
Sure, and that's what we loved. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've focused on that. But I think there's something greater, in just whatever greater. But
Yeah.
if it's always dumb to do that, right, with art. But you just were so influential and so important, and I think the hardest thing of talking about you and your work is that to a great extent it's not explainable in a way. It's an instinct that you guys have,
Yeah.
and to a great extent shared, which is surprising.
And can I just say, by the way, because Doug is sitting here, and I feel that for years and years, when we talk about Tim and Eric, we are not just talking about me and Eric. Okay, we're talking about that guy right there. We're talking about a group of people that made that show what it is. And of course, there was direction created from the top by us.
I would
No
just
question.
say that the core of it, the vibe of it,
These aren't right.
is hard to characterize. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some great thesis projects written about it.
Yeah.
Some of them are good and figured it out. I can't do it.
No.
But the bottom line is it's your voice.
Yeah.
And it was funny when other people, I shan't name names or initials,
Yeah.
tried to do
Right.
Tim and Eric stuff. And it just, I always, when you guys got more, influential and everyone was talking about you, and I was like, oh, here it comes. People are going to try to do what they do,
Thank
and
you.
they're not going to be able to do it.
Well, the other thing that's hard, and as I get older and years go by, there is this, and maybe you have this feeling of like you're judged or you're appreciated by your past while you're still actively doing things and still actively trying new things.
Right.
And I'm on this journey and on this sort of quest to keep making stuff that I enjoy, that turns me on.
Right.
And then there's this feeling of like, I don't even care about that old stuff.
Right.
I don't even.
But when you write a memoir, you have to do that.
Right.
That's your job. There's a lot of things you have to do when you write a memoir that you don't particularly want to do with your day.
I didn't understand an email I got from you.
So you have to just fucking bite the bullet and go, this is what I said I was going to do.
Right.
I'm going to now do it.
Right.
And tough shit for me.
And then do you feel expunging of something from you by doing it?
Yeah, it's a great feeling of like all those stories, all those theories, all those feelings and interpretations I had of what I did, why I did it, what I thought it meant.
Right.
I said it somewhere.
It's
and
on the
and
record.
I don't have to say it again.
Right.
If someone wants to talk about it and I feel like talking about it, I can. But I don't have it inside me sitting there and I wish I could just straighten something out. I'll read almost any article about sketch comedy.
Sure.
And most of them will not mention Mr. Show. And ever.
Right.
And they're like,
Which
and
is
you're like,
nuts.
well, I mean, you can't just mention it.
Right. I mean, there's not
we
even
did
that
it.
many. How many?
There aren't even that many.
Yeah. How
But
do you
it's-
fill up the pages?
But it's this thing of like, I just put it somewhere. What I thought, what I felt, what I was thinking about.
Right.
Listen, I did, all the, I talk about the Ben Stiller show, Dana Carvey show, Kids in the Hall, what I thought they were doing. I was thinking about it. I was watching them going, I see what they're doing. And what is it I want to do that's not like what they want to do? And what is, where do I live in this endeavor, which I love so much, weirdly, which I admit. People ask me, what did you learn about yourself writing the book? And I just, I'm like, I knew I loved sketch comedy, but oh my God, was I a broken toy? Like walking in the same circle for like 15 years. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
What? Even I'm writing it, like another sketch show?
Yeah.
Calm down. What is wrong with you? There's
Yeah.
a million things you can do. And
Yeah,
I just had this fucking whatever. Look, it's a blessing and a curse. The first guy who asked, "What's luck? What does luck have to do with making a success?"
What's luck have to do with it? Is that what the song is?
That's a good song. That is an idea, right?
What's
Take
luck but a
second
hand
foot.
Second-hand suit.
Second-hand suit. Handed down from.
Well, wait. Speaking of the book, Well, we are speaking about the book, but the trades are now talking about the biopic. I mean, that's going to be big, right? I mean, you're already starting to. We have a guy here.
This is great.
Yeah.
I did not.
You didn't see
I'm
this?
thrilled about this because I had not heard this.
Oh, God,
But of
it's
course,
Deadline.
Of course. Is it on Deadline right now? Is it the top
Tim,
story?
who's attached
time.
to direct? Did they mention that?
Well, I could make up a couple of funny. I could make up a couple of funny directors. Brian De Palma.
I understand.
No, but this is kind of
exciting. Is there a notion that there might be a biopic?
There's
of
a lot
me?
of talk. There's a lot of talk.
It's not. I'm not gonna say it's the first thought I had when I was writing the book, but
that's kind of the trajectory. You know, you tell the story,
Yeah.
and then you want to see. You want to take that
the
property.
audience reads it. They listen to the audiobook. Then they go, forget that shit. I'm gonna
Right.
forget it.
Watch
I
it on
wanna
a
see
plane.
it."
You're going to
Yeah, I
watch
wanna
the
see it.
Odenkirk tale on a plane.
Well, I'm just hoping that Jared Leto.
You think he'd be
has
interested
an
in playing you? Well, we have.
What I
so
like
Vic,
about him is he could-
unfortunately, Vic's not here. He's looking for his dog. What do you think
Diarrhea.
Vic is doing right now? Do we have an update? Do we have anything?
He's at a bar drinking. He is
He's
at a
pacing.
bar drinking and looking at his watch. He's got the dog right next to him.
Oh, okay. So, can you just hold a sec? What the fuck? No, it's like
Gone really wrong.
Yeah. So, the big question is, who's going to play Cross? Who's going to play David Cross? And so Vic's cousin Davey is a struggling actor, and I know Vic's gone through a lot of things.
Yeah.
He wanted. I thought it'd be a nice thing.
Gesture.
A little chemistry read with you two to see if there's anything there. Now I don't know if this is so early in the process.
Right.
I don't
That's
even know.
when you do this kind of thing.
Sure.
Early in the process.
I mean, you want
Don't
to
wait around.
find the right cross for the biopic.
You got no show.
Yeah.
Without it.
I mean, that's the whole second act.
Absolutely.
Meet you and him meeting.
I
So
mean, let's say it's a. I'm kind of hoping it's a series.
Oh, like a
the WeWork,
limited
you
Hulu
know,
thing.
Yeah, an 8 or 10 episode.
Right. When do we see? When does Cross come in? 4th episode.
Well, yeah, I don't think the audience wants to wait till the 4th episode. So
We do a little non-linear.
non-linear, but also maybe Greek chorus. Do you remember the a
Mighty-
cipher? He comes in right away.
Oh, he's like the narrator.
Yeah.
He's a storyteller.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's bring Davey in and see if there's any gelling here. I think it could be. Maybe it's you definitely don't want a big star. You don't. You know.
No
you don't-
way, because you'll just be looking at the star.
Right. So here.
For me, I'd be Jared Leto.
Yeah. Or you don't think you'd play? You don't think you'd play yourself? That's a little tacky.
It is.
Has anyone done that? Has anyone
Oh,
played?
they could do like the Irishman where they like
Here, Wes,
change
hand
your
that
age
over to
digitally.
Bob. So let's just see if there's anything here. Davey, how are you?
Hey, great. Thanks for having me.
I could see a little resemblance.
Is he on
right?
mic?
I mean, it's. Do we have glasses for him?
There's kind of good energy here already.
I feel some kind of. There's what is it? If it's chemistry, whatever, it's some kind of vibe for sure. I feel like David would have glasses though. Do we have?
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
Well, let's do sunglasses, I guess.
I mean, do you want to
That's all I
borrow
have.
mine? Maybe he can't. I
Those
don't know if
might be more
sunglasses
crossy.
might not work.
He's not really
You
like.
need to read your script though.
Yeah, will you be able to read?
I'm
Are you feeling anything?
warming
here?
to this.
You're warming to it.
I was not into it initially because David probably would like to play that part, but it's not important because this young fella is a firecracker.
take it away.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
great.
we didn't. Hey, hey, didn't we meet once at my house?
Yes, I came by with Janine Garofalo, and I wanted to play hoops, but you were busy eating a sandwich.
Yeah. Now I remember you.
I really want to do sketch comedy with you.
Okay, I do too. You're a funny guy. I used to work on SNL, and that wasn't cutting it from a sketch comedy perspective.
Let's make a show on HBO together.
But we have to have one rule. No rules.
That's a deal.
Great. What should we call it?
Mr. Show.
Great.
All right.
I lost the part. He got it. I lost the Bob part just now.
Can you rail against the Iraq War
I
or
can't
something?
believe I
Can we get a little
said I
more?
would do that.
Yeah.
Because I just fucked myself.
That was a cold read. I mean,
You're
guys.
gonna. All right.
I mean, do you want to take
Please,
it? You want to
give
take
me
it again?
another shot.
All right, let's take it again.
Please,
Take it again. Just have
please. I
fun.
was
with
not-
Like, don't even worry about the script.
I'm
You know what I
not-
mean? Yeah, forget the script.
You know,
And
I mean, I'm
you
gonna
know
read
what? I
it.
need
but-
more out of you though, because I need you to be like, oh, the fucking Iraq War, and you know, like 9/11, and just get into that kind of.
Hey, didn't we meet
kinetic-
once at my house?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I was held up by a line at the gas station because all the oil was held up in Iraq.
Calm down, calm down. Let's make humor out of it. Where should we do the show? Shoot.
I'll tell you where we shouldn't do it.
Where?
Iraq.
Okay.
David, that's enough of that. Hey, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. This has gotten off the rails.
I just saw an audience here.
You felt it?
I thought I saw them.
Because that's the energy that's happening. Listen.
I want to do a sketch show with you. You're a funny guy. I used to work on SNL. I wasn't cutting it regarding sketch comedy. But look at you.
Oh, well, thanks. What do you think about SNL?
Enough with that.
Iraq.
Iraq, calm down. Put on your long pants. I like that he's got
the
shorts.
shorts. Yeah. That's
Where
a
was
nice touch.
SNL on
Can you
9/11?
Can you stand up and show the shorts?
Oh, sure.
I mean, he comes ready. I had just a crazy thought, and I don't know if this is something you're interested in, David, but it's nice that your name is David. That helps.
It'll make it easier.
Makes the call sheet easier.
Everything.
But what about? I mean, this might work. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. It's sort of out of your control, of course.
Yeah.
What about a David Crosby biopic? That might even be more appropriate.
Absolutely.
What do you
And
think?
his life has been so full of turmoil.
I mean, we got the mustache. I mean, it's a similar.
Totally. I love David Crosby. He's my favorite singer. Top 5. I would love to.
I would want to see that.
Yeah.
I love that song, Almost Cut My Hair. It's my favorite.
That's great.
Crosby,
And
Stills,
and
Nash, yeah.
and you could be David Cross. You could be David Crosby.
Are
It
you
could be
saying you
either-
mix the two?
Yeah.
Tim, you
bad.
are just taking everything to another level today, and I think it's great. But it's going to take everyone a while to
catch up.
Yeah, to catch up.
But
But I'll tell you
Is
what.
there a world? Is there the biopic?
Bob Odenkirk, David Cross biopic with him as David Crosby, also being the Greek chorus, the Yoda.
He becomes sort of your guru.
Yeah, and
Your
he
kind of spirit.
sings his way and leads us along our path.
I can sing.
I think it's way out on a limb, and I think it's what needs to happen because nobody cares anymore.
No, I think because you can't just do the traditional, seeing Bob come up through the system and everything.
Then this happened, then that happened.
All right, Davey. Well, good luck. We have
Davey,
your stuff on tape.
thank you so much for reading.
Hey, sure, thank
and
you.
Do you need a parking
Validation?
or?
I'm just on the street.
Okay.
Well, do me a favor, because that was good. Why don't you do a little self-tape when you're a little looser and there's a little less pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just put yourself on tape.
Oh, totally. Oh, thanks a lot.
And get some
Hey.
glasses that sort of
Sure. You want
fit
this
your face
back?
better.
Thanks. Okay.
But anyway,
Wonderful
Do you want me to
work.
leave now?
I think
Okay.
that's a
Great
good
job.
idea.
Great
Okay.
audition.
Thank
and
you.
you're all cute.
Yeah,
hooked up.
he's all
Oops.
tightened in.
Great job. You'll have wet, painful diarrhea.
Oh, you're still hooked up.
Right on schedule.
Well, let's hear it for Davey.
Davey!
Go
thank
help
you
Vic
so
find
much.
that dog. Jesus Christ.
I loved it.
Thanks.
Daddy done did it again.
We try stuff on the show. I don't know. I think that would be a
Where
good
do you get all
opportunity.
this stuff?
Him?
Yeah.
Where do you get it all, Doug?
I got it at Drop Mart.
Drop Mart. What about Doug? Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Talk about Bob in the early days. Talk about his kindness, his
He did
availability.
something very nice, but I
Talk-
don't know if he
What did I
remembers
do?
it.
No, listen to this. This
I don't want to hear about this.
should have been in the book.
Yeah.
The book should have been like you bragging about what a great person you are.
Well, at the end, first of all, when I got to LA, I just wanted to work on. Mr. Show was my favorite show, and then I got this job as an intern on Tom Goes to the Mayor.
Yeah, yeah.
And you were in the room, and I was just sitting there trying to act cool for like.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, at the end of the season, that other producer guy.
Oh yeah.
You guys, he skimmed off the top or something.
Yeah, we don't have to get.
And
into
you
that.
said you gave us all a nice. You split it up, and you gave us all. You divvied up your share for us, and
I didn't do any work, so.
No, but that was beyond generous, especially
it was like
in
the
this
biggest
town.
check I've ever seen. I mean, it was a few grand, but like it paid off my credit card debt, and I was like, that was the nicest thing anyone's ever done.
Oh, shit.
At that to me at that time. Ever.
Thank you so much. Well, I don't even remember.
Do you remember
doing
doing that?
No.
Oh.
But
you do it all the time.
Sounds pretty good.
Let's
Sounds
take
like
a
you got
call.
a story. Maybe it'll help you out one day.
Let's take another
That's
call.
cool, buddy.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I'm trying to get you to tear up. We'll see. It might not happen.
Well, you know, it was really great, Tim. I
Yeah.
got that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Congratulations.
Do you know that was one of the greatest, funnest things I've ever.
Oh yeah,
been
that was
part
like
of.
the other day.
Yeah, it was like 4 days ago.
Tell me about it.
Well, first of all, I've been to him before. I went to Jack Black's and
Yeah.
Bernie Brillstein's, and I never expected that such a sort of it's a degree of acceptance from kind of the broader marketplace.
Yeah.
Sense. And
I mean, I've been on
but
the
you know,
outskirts
the
of
thing
Hollywood.
about
I've
this-
seen some names and be like, you know,
Yes.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, there's lots of them, and I'm sure that's me in 3 years. But whatever. The bottom
did I
line
go-
is,
why did I go
can
that
I tell
way?
you the truth? This town never feels like a small town, except for at those ceremonies. Those Hollywood star ceremonies, because you got the city council person, you've got you got city reps,
Right.
and it just feels like you're in this little Midwestern town
Right.
called Hollywood, where they
do that Christmas parade.
they're so
you
happy,
know.
that someone made a movie that they're
Right.
proud of.
Right.
It really feels small townish and great.
Who spoke
And it makes
on your
you
behalf?
remember David,
Nice.
who's super funny,
Right.
and Ray Seahorn,
Of
who
course.
was very
Yeah. Sure.
honest and generous towards me.
Right.
And you can watch this whole thing on YouTube. But David is so funny.
What
And
was the gist? What
my
was his
favorite
angle?
thing he said was that I was in New York and I got tired. It didn't have enough culture for me, so I came to LA so I could be closer to Bud Friedman.
That's what you did, or that's what he did.
You have to know who Bud Friedman is.
Was he
Bob,
the-
have you ever put your hands in the concrete?
No, that's another.
That's a
one.
next
whole other
level.
That's
thing.
like way
Like a
up.
star
I'll
is one
never
thing,
get
but
there.
the
I'll never
hands-
get there. That's all right.
I think you'll get there.
But
You seem like you can you have a distance from the industry to some degree. You have kind of you're not cynical, but you sort of.
yeah, I talked about this actually because I had to. Because how could I stand in front of everybody and not say, "Look, I
This
make
is
fun
all a
of
little
this."
silly, right?
This is what I made fun of. That's how I got somewhere,
Right.
and then now you're giving it to me. But it is I said I was honest about it. I love making fun of it, and I love being a part of it.
Oh, it's a gas.
Both things are true.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you can only laugh at it, but there's something really sweet about that ceremony that doesn't feel. It just.
It's not branded.
You know what it is? You just.
You don't have to wear like a Gatorade
It's very
hat.
hard to see this place as anything but a transitional place. Everyone's here for work.
Yeah.
They're all from somewhere else, mostly.
Right.
And they're all going to go somewhere else. A lot of people leave here.
Yeah.
They go move to Santa Barbara. They
Joe
go
Rogan.
all kinds of places.
He went to Texas. He got out.
Did he really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He can't take. It's taxes and the homeless and the whole deal. You can't hang. But
anyway, it's just a great thing to feel like it's an actual place, and it's the only time I've felt it.
Yeah.
You know, during that little.
you're
event.
Whoa.
I mean, your career is it kind of
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but it's a great way to tell the story of television in the past 30 years because you can.
Yeah, the only thing
you
that's
zelig
troublesome
through
about
it a
that-
little.
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
The hardest part is that, one of the things you want to do with a memoir is try to share people life lessons.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I learned about the business doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah, it's so.
I mean, there was like 4 networks there was 3, and then there was 4, and that was like, this is never going to work out. Nobody wants to see 4 of anything.
The fucking Ben Stiller show on Fox.
Yeah.
Prime time.
Yeah, that was
like
crazy.
At 8 o'clock at night on Sundays with you, Andy Dick, Janine Garofalo, and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that shouldn't belong.
Yeah.
It would never exist now.
No, but
on a network
there's
television.
still things that, look, it was a great group of people and they had a vision. It was Judd and Ben's vision. I got to be a part of it and I got to help with it once I understood what it was. It took me a little while. But there's still things like that. And what it is essentially a thing that you go, wow, it's really good, but it does not belong where it is at all.
Yeah.
And then you just wish they'd gone to where it belonged.
I like, what was it like because I remember seeing it and loving, I loved, obviously I loved the parodies.
Well, what
things.
it was a mashup. That was the thing that even had not been done as well. Like, SCTV did a little bit of it.
Right.
But the Stiller Show was this kind of the best thing that we did there because Ben loved parody and he loved showbiz. And he loves movies and directors and styles.
And finding the style and figuring out how to do it the right way.
And then mix it with something else that means something.
Right.
Was fun, which we did a couple times.
And he was such a great impersonator. I think we forget that Ben could do Springsteen and Tom Cruise, these weird, really specific things. But then the awkward part was sort of those, like him.
There was a lack
in the
of
black and white,
cohesiveness.
sitting at a park bench with an MTV.
It was
energy.
impossible. We couldn't figure it out. I mean, I write about it in the book how Judd and Ben worked so hard with us and even without us to try to make it a show that was cohesive and had some kind of way in.
Right.
Couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. Well,
that's a hard thing with a sketch show. Any sketch show.
If people haven't seen Bob, look up Bob on the Manson sketch.
Manson Lassie is like a bit of a mashup thing, right? But it's like it exists in like your dreams. It's not like it has no founding.
We all know, because at least my age, my generation, and yours more so probably, is that we all remembered these crazy interviews that Manson used to give.
Yeah. Like every other year he'd be on TV.
He'd show up,
some
big Diane Sawyer would show up at the prison and he'd be like, I got nothing else to do. I'll just talk to you all day.
Yeah.
And he would say insane shit.
Well, he was mentally
ill. A crazy person.
Yeah.
And we used to watch it like we were going to get something out of it. Like, what were we supposed to get out of those Manson interviews except salacious
car crash shit?
What is to this day now? There's like I saw.
I just want to see. I mean, people can't help themselves watching a terrible thing go wrong.
There's this John Wayne Gacy tapes. Have you seen this?
I haven't watched it.
No, I think we should try to get to a place where we don't want to watch that.
Yeah, we can't help that. That's not going to happen. That's Noam Chomsky thinking what you're saying.
You were talking about a better future.
Attention to?
But you were talking about a better future.
I know, but I think
it's hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, I don't know if this thing's gonna work out. This human being thing.
Can we take a call because people want to say hi to Bob? They want to love. We talked about this before the show. The love from obviously the big incident. When was it? Last year?
July 27th.
We all of a sudden,
25th.
And I'll talk you through. I'll talk you through where you were when this happened. My friend texted me, said, what's going on with Bob? There's a story. He collapsed on set. I texted you. Just out of instinct. Hey, thinking about you, it's Tim. And then it was like 48 hours of like, I was like sick to my stomach because it was really scary.
I get it.
And then the clouds parted and we found out you were fine. But the love that came from just the broader world about you and just the idea that like, oh, here's this guy that we love. Don't even think in a million years that, I mean, of course it's stupid because of course we're all going to die.
Yeah, and it could happen anytime.
It could happen like
something
that.
You don't even see coming.
Were you like the same way in which I was not able to really process me in this book? Were you able to process that in any way?
I'm still processing.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's a long journey for me to think about it. And honestly, the first step was hearing about it from people who were there.
Right.
Which I just basically interviewed everyone who was there for the next few months.
Right.
Because it was such a blank for me. Total blank.
It's kind of a blessing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
It is. At the same time, you're kind of like, could I see a light? Could I get... I want to write a book about.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, like, I didn't get to the very end, but I assume you missed the boat on that chapter.
Totally.
So, there's going to be like.
I mean, it really.
It
was like a jump in time.
Yeah.
It was literally like I lost about a week and a half.
I mean, I didn't have anything like as dramatic, but when I was stabbed,
right.
I don't have any memory of that.
Really?
I don't have any. That happened. I don't remember the pain of it. I don't remember the impact of that. I just, because
Is there like a blank space there? Because that's what it is for me. Huge blank
I think
space.
it's, the adrenaline was flowing, and I don't think I think my body was just like putting up giant defenses. Is that me being stabbed?
I recorded it. I was filming it.
But anyway, yours was much more substantial, and
So you were just out, and then it was blank, and then you woke up a few weeks later.
Yeah, a week and a half later.
Right.
I remember talking to the doctors on the way out of the hospital, having a little like exit interview, but just very brief memory of that. And then about a day later at home. Like I don't remember getting home in Albuquerque. Wow. I remember like waking up the next day and my daughter and my son are there and my wife and
everybody's just buckets, right?
Yeah, everyone was, well, I mean, they were just, it was hard for everyone else. So hard. And by the way, and then for me, I'm like, I got to go back to work. We got to go to work. Come on, we got to go to work. We got so much to shoot.
Oh, man.
And
you felt
people
guilty.
Like,
did you feel
down.
guilty?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
I felt
guilt,
guilty.
Man.
But also, Tim, kind of like, what are we doing? Like waking up and not, of course, not having any of this memory. Every day, by the way. So nothing for a week and a day or so. And then every day, the same thing sort of, it took a few days before I'm like, oh, I had a heart attack. But every day waking up going, let's go. And even through the day, we got to get back to work. And
that's part of that drive within you. That's sort of like, you should be able to say, there's nothing wrong with me just being laid out for as long as it takes.
Right.
It's going to figure itself out, right?
Right.
But that thing inside of you that you can't let go of, that is like, I have to, we're
we were talking
forward.
about this at the start of our conversation about trying to find a way to
turn off.
To turn off. Yeah. And this is going to be my challenge. Now, I have to finish a bunch of projects first.
Yeah.
Which sounds like an excuse.
But
it isn't. It isn't. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, when I did that movie Nobody, I signed up for a lot of stuff that I didn't spend my life doing.
Yeah.
That was going to be hard for me to do. Really hard. Driving to the gym and spending 2.5 hours in a gym. I am not a workout guy. I am now. I know how to do it.
You stay up. You continue.
Yes. But only because I learned how to do it. No, I learned so much about how to keep yourself in good shape and how to sort of work your whole body.
Right.
Which a lot of people do one thing.
Well, that's what I do. He's making fun of me now.
Nobody cares.
Tim, overall, your journey, you want to get to be spreading all that effort out.
Right.
And it's not just about cardio. It's not just about running and being bored out of your mind. Like this guy, Daniel Bernhardt, who trained me, we could do a workout right here. And he could do a full body workout right in this, like
no weights.
8 foot, no weights, just that table, this chair. And you'd be like, holy shit. And you'd get my whole body going. And that's a great thing to learn and understand. And I think it's better for your energy overall as you get older and you need to do more upper body stuff. This is the workout hour. But anyway, the point is, I did this hard thing partly to do just a very hard thing that didn't fit me.
Right.
That would just be hard as fuck
Why do you
to
think
do.
you did? Why do you think that is?
Well, there's so many thoughts and feelings that went into it. We get older, and I'm 54 when I have the idea to do this action movie, 53, 54. You're not going to get many more opportunities in showbiz. You're not going to be a romantic lead.
Right.
You got a few years left to maybe turn this into a leading role of some kind, but I don't know what kind.
And then you say, well, what are they making now?
Well,
what would get made?
Yeah, what would get made?
That's part of it,
yes,
right?
And then what I do get off a little bit on having done things vastly different from where I started, or my sort of natural groove, which is sketch comedy. And this couldn't be further.
Right.
I mean, it's earnest. And by the way, right from the start, when I called my manager, Mark Professero, to say, what about an action movie? I said, earnest, not ironic.
I remember
no
you telling me
winking.
about this years ago.
I'm ready.
You know, and I could make a huge ass of myself, like just embarrassing, big embarrassment. But I mean, I got a couple years left, this little tiny window, and it probably won't get made anyways.
Right.
But also, this thing that I was just saying to you of like, it's kind of about our country and how we're so far from each other. And it's the instinct that we all have a little bit of like, I want to go be with those people who shoot guns and see if they can show me something that's great about the gun. Because I don't see what's great about it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to those people who work out all day and, do fighting. And is that going to feel good? Am I going to feel better after I do it? Is it going to work out some anger and energy in me and I'm going to be like, this is smart and good. And I like this.
Yeah.
The Joe Rogans of the world. Am I going to go, okay,
protein
I don't need to be you, but maybe I can just get a little bit of an inside look into how you see the world and why you like this point of view. And I think it did that for me. I mean, I saw a lot of things, and I saw there's all kinds of shadings to everything you do, but I think I challenged myself, and it was very genuinely challenging. Like, it's not like I'm going to do this fun thing for 2 weeks. It took 2 years, 2.5 years of this fucking training. And
the pounding.
That's hours of your day. And you're doing repetitive shit over and over.
And that's your job.
But, so
because you know what the end goal is, that it's going to
but honestly, I thought the movie was never going to get made.
Right.
Absolutely 80% sure, we're not making it.
Right.
And then I would have still done all this challenging stuff that I wanted to do.
Right.
And I think when I think about this subject we're talking about, of trying to turn things off, and I think that's going to be just as hard as what I did training for that movie and trying to do a thing that doesn't come naturally to me, that I have to do. You can't just do it for 10 minutes. You have to.
The other thing is, how do you live? Like, this is something I'm fascinated with, and I think about all the time. When you're, how do you structure your lives? What do you do with your time? What do you do with your hours in the day when it's not creative?
Well, you see a lot of really rich fuckers who start meditating, right? This happens all the time.
Because it kills an hour.
Well, also I think they feel like I'm a billionaire and I am not happy.
Yeah.
So all this fucking hustle that I was sure was going to make me just fucking golden forever.
I got my yacht and my champagne.
Is kind of a zero.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I don't know where to go. I guess shut everything off. Maybe that'll work. But I think to some extent it does. The point is, I think what we're both talking about is, we both are hustlers. We like what we do, so we just naturally want to do it.
Right.
But we also see that, like, there's something a little maybe wrong about being that.
Yeah, I mean,
frantic in your pursuit.
The lesson I think I've learned that I don't always appreciate or I don't always connect with is that it is the process, not the end product. It is the process of working with friends or solving a problem or being in a sort of communication, having the community of the thing you're doing work and be successful in what we want to do. After that, it's like the world's and I don't care anymore. Like, it's nice that you like my stuff.
I understand, but I also think what you and I are talking about a little bit is, can we shut down and find value in our life without making something every second?
Right.
And you realize that maybe this thing that has been so good to me and been great and I've enjoyed also has a little side to it that's like, calm the fuck down. There's something,
maybe somebody else wants to say something for a change.
And I think it's going to be very hard for me to do this. And I think I can do it. And part of the reason I think I can do it is because I've done something that was really not
comfortable for you to do. Yeah.
and not comfortable, and it was a big commitment.
Let me back up for a second. This is like a real interview. By the
Can
way.
I ask a question?
Is there
when you're
something
done,
wrong
Tim?
with that?
No, I'm just saying it's nice, right?
Totally, I love it.
By the way, I love you on Stern. Now that you two have
I mean,
gotten
he's the best. He can get you.
easy now, but no, I'm just kidding.
He really is.
No, I mean the fact that you two now have this kind of repertoire or whatever,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Well, he can be down to earth and earnest, and he's curious, and he
Tim
knows
Heidecker,
every
yeah.
fucking reference. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the
It
other
was
thing
funny.
about
It was
me
really
is
good.
like, it can be very hard to talk to some people because you just go like, I know you don't never heard of, you know,
Yeah.
Mr. Show or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring something up. You don't understand the
Right.
reference. He knows every reference,
Doug,
and so you can just talk.
what did you want to say? Speaking of
Oh,
interviews.
I was just curious. Besides meditating, do you do anything like axe throwing, or do you do painting or anything? Any kind of like leisure
You know, for a
activity?
couple of years there, I was doing these little illustrations, these little journals that were just a daily illustration,
see-
and
you
they
should-
were really fun. And I
Like
want
a
to
New
get back
Yorker
to that, but I
cartoon kind of
haven't.
thing?
Oh, I'd love to see those. You ever think
Yeah,
about
well,
putting
they're
them
mostly
on?
just my family and my pets and stuff.
Right.
But they're terrible drawings. But it's not about that. It's about, just trying to approach life from a different perspective.
I want to circle back on something. I love circling back. Because I was.
Did you consider that as a title for the show?
Let's
Circling back with Tim
circling back
Heidecker.
with- oh, that
Circle
would be the
back.
worst.
Circle back.
What the hell are you
What?
fucking?
What do you
What
want
are
me
you,
to do?
Who's the guy
Kreskin.
from?
I'm just doing my job
Kreskin,
here.
yes, but I'm thinking of the guy from Russia who was the creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Nosferatu?
No, come on,
Putin.
huh?
Putin.
The guy that was in charge of the Tsar. They tried to kill him 7 times.
Oh, yeah. Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Wouldn't he have been a great guest?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody got him.
Well, I feel bad for the Canadians who are hearing about Poutine. They want to.
Right.
Are we talking about Poutine or Putin?
I just heard it on the news.
Those poor Canadians.
No. So you talked about like reaching across the divide of this fractured country with the art you do.
Yeah,
or the
partly
media.
that. Like
But-
just getting like,
Yeah.
we're all so split up, blah, blah, blah. You all know the story.
But
and maybe I could, that was part of why I did it, was to just embed myself
Yeah.
in that point of view on life and see if I connected to it a bit. And,
We did a screening, a 10-year anniversary, if you can believe, 10 years of the comedy, the movie
Yeah.
The Comedy.
Great
10
movie.
years came out, and so we did
Amazing,
a preview. We did a screening of it in New York, and the producer of that movie, this great guy, Mike Ryan, is just one of these like it looks like Coppola back in the 70s, with the beard, and he's like a film professor, and he's just like wears the army jacket, he's like, and a great guy, and he was like, how do we? Because that movie is kind of this canary in the coal mine, a little bit about sort of the Proud Boys and sort of this rise of online deep, super heavy cynicism that I think led a lot of people into this dark place of
great.
culminating in the January 6th, and just like the hate and but he was like, how do we make movies or shows or art that can play to that audience that doesn't feel like we can talk about all kinds of things that don't really don't look up, right?
Yeah.
Nobody on the right
yes.
is watching that.
Right.
Nobody is connecting into that doesn't agree with the premise of
That's
the
the
movie,
whole thing, right? Is how do I think about this on Twitter all the time. I want to say
The
something.
echo chamber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of like, if I can't picture a person who doesn't agree with me reading it and kind of going, maybe he's got a point, then why tweet it?
I
What's
know.
the fucking point?
Nobody got time for that.
We got to turn. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, we were laughing about Trump and his sweat and his wetness,
yeah.
And I couldn't help myself. It's just too funny to me,
Right.
the way he looks because of the person he is. And
Right.
I tweeted and said, whenever there's anything about Trump, you get all bent out of shape, and I'm like, I'm just laughing at this wet man. Like,
Yeah,
there's a
right.
wet man.
Why are you laughing? Everyone should.
Everybody should be
getting
laughing
a
at
kick
this.
out of it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's fun.
He's a
If you
sweaty
love him,
man.
you should laugh. It's so funny
He's
when
like
you.
he's a cartoon
If
character.
you know him, you should be like, "Hey, I saw you sweating it up. Man.
Yeah,
that
man.
was great. That was
Jeez.
hilarious."
You're such
You
a
know?
character. So I don't know the answer, and I really didn't have an answer as we were talking about at this screening. Like, I don't know how you make stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not easy.
Yeah.
If it was easy, we would be doing it like crazy
Like
because
George
there's tons
Harrison
of
said
people who
about-
want to do this, who
Yeah.
want to connect, bridge the divide, reach across, and get to get everyone on somewhat on the same page.
You know, I think part of it.
I just wanted to personally challenge myself to do this. Now, my wife,
Yeah.
Naomi, told me years ago her theory, and I'm going to get it wrong, about how to live a longer life, which is to have kind of chapters where you do things differently, you emphasize things differently, you
Right.
really shift up the focus, and you don't let yourself just routinely anything. You know, let's say you find your favorite vacation spot and every year you go there. You
Right.
just don't do that for 20 years. You do it for 7 years, and
Right.
then you pick some other fucking place, even though
Sure.
you still love that thing.
Yeah.
And you make yourself stretch. And I know I'm picking an easy thing going on vacation, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
you know, you just don't let yourself live the same life, even
Because
if
the
you're liking it.
routine gets to the
That
thing where it
makes
starts.
the same day over and over.
Right.
If you make your 70 years or whatever you get on this planet into 150 years or feel longer or be more,
Yeah.
it's to go to the other places that are genuinely foreign. Maybe you don't even want to go there when you start, and try to find some way to
Yeah.
another
It's hard.
you.
But it's
And I think she's got it right. I
Yeah.
definitely think she's got it right. But the trick there is the thing you're doing just like a neat little look at me, I climbed whatever, I firewalked. I walked on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess what? You can do that.
Right.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
It's not
But literally,
really a
but
thing at all.
changing your
or
lifestyle.
did you go
your
live
routines.
differently and challenge yourself in a really daily way for maybe months or even a couple of years
Yeah.
to see things differently.
I'm wired. This is how I sound. I'm like that.
But Tim, you
But I do
do
that.
take on challenges.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
do.
just making the music and
Yeah.
digging in and
Yeah.
not
I'm
going.
like
I'm
Bob
not
Dylan in
gonna.
a lot
I'm
of
sure when you started in on that, you thought
I'm like Dylan.
I could do. I could do silly songs.
Yeah.
Just that.
Be a lot easier. But my guy is Dylan is my North Star. Bob Dylan
By the
is.
way, I was listening to, I think, my favorite Dylan album, which is, oh, by the way, I made a list of live albums. I saw you were on Twitter.
Yeah, I wanted to
talking-
get into. I actually put that on my list, and it was very controversial. But can we take a hotline call and then we'll get into that?
Okay.
Well, do we want to go to
Too much
break,
fun.
Tim?
Huh?
Do we want
I'm not doing a
break?
fucking break.
Okay.
We're going right through.
On heaven's door.
Doug,
I do it with the.
put your
the-
diapers on,
We
baby.
got a hothead hotline.
You're dropping.
I got my
you're
diaper.
dropping a
I'm
load.
wearing my diaper at
Here.
work just in case.
He often goes up there to take whatever he needs.
Yeah.
But now he's dropping in the room.
So, hello, hotline. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Drop this guy. I thought we had a special guest calling in.
Wait, just drop him.
Yeah.
We have Valerie would like to ask about Nobody, Bob's film.
Yeah, let's go.
I feel like we covered it at length, but sure. There might be
Yes,
some.
we're working on a sequel. We're trying to get it to happen.
Maybe it's called
Hello.
Somebody. I
Very
don't know.
excited.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Somebody.
We'll see what happens, but it's. I love the group of people who did it.
That is that the question? Are we seeing more Nobody?
No, that's not my question.
Okay,
right.
what's your question?
Let's go. Hit it.
Well, I just wanted to share something a little bit. The day that I saw that movie, I actually found a lump on my throat that ended up being cancer.
Oh shit.
And so that film was so important to me and empowering to me through my recovery. I don't know, I feel like some people might think that's silly, but I don't know, there was just something about it that really resonated with me, and especially just hearing what you were talking about, all the training that you did for it. It was just really important. So thank you for that. I mean, I know that obviously you didn't know
nice.
anything about my
How
life.
are you feeling now?
How are you?
I'm okay. As of right now, things are good. I have a checkup next month. So
What did you
it's always
have?
kind of
What- specifically
we'll
what
see.
cancer did you have?
It was papillary thyroid cancer, which is like, if you're going to have cancer, that's the one to have.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, like basically they just take your thyroid out and then monitor to make sure it doesn't move into like lymph nodes.
I just found out I have brain cancer.
Well, just take that out.
And
You'll be
the
fine.
whole thing. They want to take the whole thing out.
You don't need most of it.
No.
Most of your body works just on its own.
I got the
without-
worst case. I got brain, bone, and lung. They said
Is that your
the triple, the Holy Trinity. They say, yeah, brain, bone, and lung. That could be my
This is
stand-up
like
guy.
a vaudeville.
I should be
routine.
like a.
Here he is with his famous bit, brain, bone, and lung.
I should be. That could be my new, like in my stand-up.
Do you know, David and I were talking about some really awful comedy from the 70s.
Uh-huh.
And remember this Ray J guy?
No.
You can call me Ray, you can call me Jay. Oh, God, dude.
Wait,
it is the fucking worst.
What if I do
And he did it on every show. But brain, bone, and
like I should do like my stand-up guy. I should start
think
turning him
there's
one
a-
of these, like super
But,
serious. Like,
yeah.
man, it's been
I think
rough.
it's like that
been
one
rough.
Three Stooges thing. And he said Niagara Falls. It's that brain, bone, and
Yeah.
lung. And I turned.
Yeah, exactly.
How do
I
you make
beat
that
it!
funny? Well,
Just
I
a
want to
full-
talk to
wait,
this.
but a full, just to wrap this, you know, there's a great show, Search Party.
Oh yeah,
Really
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Early, I think,
Fantastic.
is
Funny.
up top 5
Yep.
all-timer for me, that guy.
Agreed.
But that story about, well, the plot line that he had just made up this cancer diagnosis when he was, like, his whole life is built on this lie. So I can't exactly do that. But geez, this like, a guy lying about having the worst cancer and then I beat it. I said, fuck that. No. We're getting in there, whatever we need to do. And just like, what is this? This is just a lie. Anyways, you want to talk to her about
I want to say congratulations for
well-
being where you're at and for getting through all that hard stuff. And I hope that the prognosis is awesome from here on out. And you know, that
Thank
movie
you.
is an interesting movie. So many people relate and love the movie, and all different kinds of people, Tim.
Yeah.
And I think we all feel, you know, I always wonder if the works that we do, songs or movies, can free emotions and let them out and we feel lighter afterwards, or whether they impact you and make you crazy. I remember playing video games and like shooting things.
Yeah.
I only did this like 3 times in my life.
Yeah.
Because I immediately went, I cannot do that.
This is not good for my brain. Yeah.
But it felt like it made me angrier. It didn't let demons out. But I'm telling you, making that movie felt like it let demons out.
Catharsis.
It felt like genuine catharsis. And I
Yeah.
feel like it is for people too. And the other way to look at that movie, and I told this to a reviewer once, and she did not agree with me. But I really believe that the way the movie works in my mind is that character, it's a very modern action movie. He has a grudge. You could say it's justified. He feels diminished and hidden and unable to strike back. And the ultimate insult is he meets the people who victimized him and he feels sorry for them. He realizes they're victims too. That's a modern take.
Yeah.
That's a modern
that's
man.
an evolved
Right,
perspective.
who realizes there really aren't enemies. There's just other people who are hurting and they strike out.
I don't want to toot my own horn.
And then he gets on a bus and he falls asleep and the rest is a dream, and it's catharsis dream of
Right.
send me genuinely pure evil characters
Right.
and I will take them all out
Right.
of the world. And it's
But
so it's
that's
like
not life.
it's a metaphorical the rest of the movie
Right.
from that point on.
Tim,
And
wait, hold on.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
We have
there-
a special guest?
Yes,
That's a theory.
They've been waiting. Yes,
But I would argue that maybe that's why people feel, and I do feel it's a cathartic film. It's
All right.
interesting.
There's a special guest on the line. Can we bring him in?
Good work.
Hey, congratulations.
Good to
Let's
meet
hear.
you.
Thank you for supporting the show and everything too, by the way.
Can I send you my book?
Yeah, we'll get
Can
her
you get her
address.
address?
Can we get
Actually,
her?
I have it. I have a signed version already.
Oh. Well, that's going up on eBay. You're getting the real deal. All right. Is he here? Who is
Vince,
this?
Vince, are you here?
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? This is Vince Gilligan.
Whoa, hey Vince.
Whoa,
Vince.
Vince.
Look at, thank you
Hey,
so much for
Bob.
calling in.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in.
It's my pleasure. I just want to say hi to Bob and offer congrats on the show, Better Call Saul. He's been incredible.
You're
so
offering
excited about our
congrats?
final season here. And I've just been real lucky to work with Bob and just want to say hi.
Man, you are the best, Vince. Thank you so much. And I owe you my career. I mean, your wonderful writing has not just me, but so many people have benefited, and we all get to enjoy these great stories. Thank you for taking on the challenge and being so gifted, but also so hardworking. People don't give you the credit for how hard you work.
Well, you're real nice to say that. And we had a special cast, as you know, and just had a wonderful time. And
But listen, can I just say, sometimes when you're very complimentary to people, Vince.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you say something like, we have a wonderful time, I can hear, like, within that, a lot of anger.
Wow. Yeah.
And a little bit of alcoholism.
Oh.
And maybe a little bit of
undiagnosed
anti-authoritarianism. And I'm worried a little bit about that aspect of the various dimension upon which you look upon the world. And I just want to say, can you just share with everyone how angry you really are at me?
Well, I'm working on that, Bob. I've got some things,
well, what's going on with you, Vince? Are you now that you've kind of wrapped up this chapter? Where's your focus been now?
Well, to address any anger, I'm going to relax. I'm just going to kick back and relax. And I did something a little crazy.
Yeah. What'd you do?
I've been very fortunate. The success we've had on both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and I bought an island, as a matter of fact.
That is crazy. Where?
Well, it's out somewhere in the South Pacific.
You've never been there?
I'm not exactly sure where it is. Actually, a few days from now, I'm gonna charter a little boat. We're gonna go out and take a look at it. And
you're chartering a boat?
This is a Brando scenario, and I'm a little concerned about you ending up, the chieftain of
is this
unwilling tribe.
Yeah, do you know who lives out there? Is it just a uninhabited island? Like, what are you planning on doing with it?
As far as I know, I bought it through a real estate agent that I met with, Berkshire Hathaway, great company, and I've invited some folks to kind of go take a first look of it. I haven't put the infrastructure in or anything yet. We're just kind of going out and having like a day trip or whatever. And,
how far away is it by boat, I guess, would you say?
I'm guessing it's probably about 200 miles or so, maybe out south of Hawaii.
So how far away? How long do you think
I feel bad. I don't want to lose your skills. I hope you'll continue writing television shows when you're probably the king, essentially, of this island.
Well, I'll get back to that for sure once I get a little R&R. But you're gonna like this, guys. I'm taking just some friends to go with me. I'm actually going to reach out to my old chemistry high school teacher. One of my favorite guys in my childhood growing up, and he's kind of my inspiration for Walter White. And we used to call him the professor back in the day. And I've invited him to go along on this boat ride with us, and going to be taking. I invited Warren Buffett and his wife Astrid.
Oh, really?
Owners of the real estate company that helped me buy this island. So
wealthy folks, a wealthy couple.
Yeah. I am. My partner Holly, of course, I love very much. And,
who's that?
My partner Holly. I'm going to be taking her. She's the love of my life, and just
anybody else?
Girl next door. Literally live next door to me.
I just think it sounds like maybe you're finding your way forward and lightening up a little bit, like letting go of some of the demons I was talking about that are clear in your work.
Yeah,
and that you struggle with to let them out, and I just want to wish you the best life there.
Thank you.
And again, I hope it doesn't deprive the world of more television shows.
Yeah, I agree
that
with
are
that.
deep and
No.
rich and sensitively written and
What's
smart.
what's the name of the island? Do you guys have is it on the map or?
You can name it yourself. Vince's.
Vince's Island, yeah.
Vince's Island. I mean, I guess I could do that. Doesn't have a name, so we haven't come up with anything. I don't know. You guys got
Wait, Vince?
Vince's Island.
Vince's Island?
St. Vincent's Island. Just sex
Yeah,
it up
put
a
a
little bit.
saint on.
Yeah. All right, well, Vince,
Well,
Mr.
thanks
Gilligan,
for calling
thanks for
in. It's
Mr.
exciting to
Gilligan.
hear about your news about the island. This is great, and I think you're going to be a wonderful ruler.
Vince Gilligan, right?
I can't help but think of you as a ruler of the
Yeah.
island.
I wonder if
You
I
got any
wonder.
boat experience, Bob?
Pardon?
You got any boat experience,
No.
Bob?
No, I
No,
don't do
no.
well on boats.
You know what I was wondering is if
need a
this,
captain.
because we're talking about creativity and that we can't turn it off, and
Yeah.
I wonder if this experience being on this island will be an inspiration for a show. You do some kind of like a light-hearted show about castaways or something on the island. I thought that could be interesting perspective.
It's possible. I guess I can. It's just something to think about as I'm just kicking back and relaxing, and I'll have a lot of time to think. But we're just going back. We're just going
Yeah.
out for take a cruise. We're coming right back. Hadn't
Oh,
been
you're not
built
gonna
out or
stay.
anything.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well,
I bet
nothing's been built
watch
yet.
out. You might fall in love with the palm trees and the balmy
coconuts.
the balmy breezes. And but we'll miss you. But have a great time and try to get the internet going over there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'll keep you engaged.
Yeah, what's the weather outlook for everything looking good on the?
It's looking great. We're checking the weather. I think everything's going to be perfect. No problems.
Great.
No problems at all.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, buddy, and thanks for writing the greatest part I'll ever have in my life.
Don't say that yet. There might be something out
You're
there.
welcome,
I could
Bob. There'll
see-
be many more. We'll have another one here. In a few months. So I'll keep in touch.
Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, buddy.
You know what would be great is On Golden Pond remake with you when you're older.
Oh yeah.
Down the line.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, you'd be
I'd do
great in it.
But let me tell you, it's just sex it up or charge it up a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Don't-
yeah. A little
Tim,
some-
do something.
some
Goose
nudity
it,
in there.
Goose it a little.
Yeah.
Give the.
On Golden Pond with a sexual.
I don't know what to do with it, but just give it a little something.
It's a bit of
I
a
don't
dry.
know
It's
what.
pretty dry.
Yeah, I mean,
Imagine people going out to see On Golden Pond in the movie theater.
crazy.
Sitting there.
Right.
That was it. After
Right.
that movie, he's talking about it with your friends.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, they were really on the pond.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure they were going to get there.
Yeah. It was right
then
there.
they were there, and then
Pond side. Pond side the whole time.
it really came through for me. Everything
that's
I want, if I could do one magical thing in showbiz, I would make a rule that they have to, like colorizing films, in every movie you have to use the title of the movie.
Yes, yes.
Someone has to say it.
You never say well, we're sitting there on Golden Pond. Liam."
It's got to get in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's
That's
a
it.
rule.
It's just the only. There's like can't mistreat animals.
Right.
There's like a couple rules. No
Yeah.
child actors more than like 6 hours.
Otherwise, what are we doing?
Otherwise,
I mean, what's the
what
point of the
is-
title?
Yeah, why have a title?
Wait, let's get to those live albums. You have a list?
Yeah, I do.
Because you're a music freak.
Well, not really. All right, these are, I think, the best live albums.
Okay.
Sam Cooke live.
A lot of
at the
people.
Harlem Square.
A
Club.
lot of people chimed in with
There's
that.
2 live albums at least.
Yeah.
That's the one. The other one I'm not so into. And if you read the story of it, he's tearing up his voice
Right.
in this, which he didn't always do. Like he's singing beautifully.
He's a crooner a lot of the
Yeah, he's a
time, yeah.
crooner. No, on this, supposedly, if I read the liner notes right, he had been seeing Little Richard on TV and going
Like
okay,
romantically seeing it?
No, seeing his performances
Yeah, I
and
understand.
going, I see.
Right.
Let's do that.
Right. Because
I'm
he's a
gonna
little. Sam
rip
Cooke's,
it up.
Sam Cooke's like
And-
a little pre-rock and roll.
And the other thing about that, Tim, is it makes you wonder about how do you record an album that well? It's so well recorded because they didn't have the equipment we
Yeah,
have now.
right.
But I would argue that recording a live album is probably the hardest thing to do well.
Yeah.
40
years of Grateful Dead
replacements
recordings is-
at Maxwell's that came out 2 years ago.
Okay. That hadn't come out. That
It's
was just
so
buried in the
good.
bone. Okay.
Dude,
Love the
there's
replacement.
so much energy in there.
I
It's
bet.
unbelievable and really well
You're
recorded.
a big replacements guy.
Yeah, but this, yes, I am huge, and that's That's
Tim.
like one of my
Got an album
favorite
named
albums.
Tim.
They do.
That's
The
pretty cool.
Jam Live,
Oh, I didn't know
which
they
is
had
a compilation of different live performances. It's a very good album, very energetic and great. And then this one I actually haven't heard in a long time, the Flesh Tones Live.
I don't know the Flesh Tones.
Can you see if it's on Spotify? Flesh Tones
Now
Live?
checking.
Because I haven't heard it in years, but I remember going, holy crap, this is solid.
Well, I caused much controversy on the internet
Because
because
you said the only good album is
No,
Springsteen.
I just said my.
Live
I
in
think
Paris,
the best.
85, Bob?
I said my opinion.
Live
the
in
best,
Paris, 85, Flesh Tones.
The best live album, in my opinion, is Springsteen Live 75 to 86. And I think the reason, first of all, I'm a big Bruce head. I think his first 7 years of music is like. All right, well,
That was the Flesh Tones Live?
I just
It
gave you
sounds great.
a taste of it.
It's good. Maybe it's not as good as the other ones I listed, so don't judge me on that one, but it's one that sticks in my head. So,
But-
yeah. By the way, there was a time in my life when I had 8 Bruce Springsteen shirts, so I could wear one every day and still,
Wow, really?
still do the laundry.
You watch him, watch those old performances. First of all, he's an incredible guitar player.
Yeah.
Like he's doing all these leads and like he was like a rock star
Yeah.
on another level. His music's about something.
Yep.
His band is incredibly good and fun and diverse. And the fun mixed with sort of the message or sort of the point of view, to me, it's the full package.
know
But what I
what
love about the box set is that you see this career happen.
Okay.
Because in the beginning, he's playing clubs. You see
Right.
that you hear him playing
I
clubs.
haven't ever checked this out. I've never checked it out.
Oh, so that's the beauty of it. You listen through it, and it's like he's
By the way,
playing
I
for
used
a
to
couple
have
hundred
like
people.
15 Springsteen bootlegs that included
bootlegs-
Winterland and all that shit.
People are coming in all over the place, out of the woodwork, saying, "Oh, what about Winterland '73?" But what's great is this thing. You listen all the way through, and by the end, he's playing Giant Stadium,
Right.
and it's the same band, it's the
Right.
same guy, and you hear him go from the Roxy in L.A. with
Yeah.
a couple hundred people to Giant Stadium, doing Born in the USA,
check
and
it out.
Bobby Jean. It's really
Thanks
cool.
for the
street,
recommendation.
Huh? Same E Street.
You know what's amazing too about Bruce's career, and it
You ever met him?
I have.
Hey man, I love
I
your
did
mu-
meet
I
him.
love your
No, he had no idea who
love
I was.
Mr. Show.
No idea.
Man. I
No
was talking to Clarence
idea.
about I was talking to Clarence. Hold on.
We have Bruce on Zoom if you want to take him.
I was talking to Clarence on watching HBO. That's a bad reverb.
They got
Anyways.
Bruce on Zoom?
So ahead. So you were saying
It was
You
I was
met him.
at a very amazing Bruce Springsteen show. It was the reunion of the E Street Band. They hadn't been together for
The
a
Rising.
decade. It was for the Jonathan Demme video. It was shot at a I forget the name of the nightclub. It's a bar in Manhattan.
Okay.
And I was visiting my friend Robert Smigel,
The great one.
the great one, really, truly
Yeah.
the great one.
He's a big thing. He's a big part of the book.
He is.
He is your entree to SNL.
Yeah, and he's
Is that the right word?
the,
Entree.
yeah, and he's the greatest sketch writer ever.
Right.
Yeah, we got a call from Max Weinberg, and he said, "Go to this club. You'd know it. It's a bar on like 13th Street on the."
I'm Mr.
east
New
side.
York. I know all the.
It's
yeah. CBGBs.
everybody knows this bar. I forget which one it is. Anyway,
Continental.
they were going to shoot the demo, the music video. Jonathan Demme directing. And they were going to play some other songs too. So
warm up.
We go down there. It's a fucking bar, 300 people. The E Street Band comes in. They're all really excited because they haven't been asked to do anything for 10 years. And he's been doing
Just
stuff
staring at the
with
wall.
studio people.
Yeah.
And there's a feeling like maybe we get to tour after this. I don't
Yeah.
know. But they're jazzed. And they're all smiling and energetic. And they get up on stage. And Bruce has a binder with lyrics. That's how long it's been since he's played
Yeah,
some
I
of
feel
his
it. Yeah.
Badlands and
Yeah.
shit. I don't know what he'd been playing, but for 4 or 5 years.
57 channels and nothing else on or whatever.
And he's using the binder to remember the lyrics.
Yeah.
And, you were 8 feet away.
Yeah.
From
there he
him
is.
playing huge songs.
Yeah.
Women.
And then downstairs later, because he knew Smigel knows him because he was around SNL a couple
Right,
times, even
right.
during with those studio musicians that he
Yeah.
would play with. He came and did the show. And Robert is a huge Springsteen fan and knew him. And so I got to just say hi to him. It was just me and Robert and Bruce down backstage in the downstairs. And that was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I bet.
Because as
mean,
a kid, I just mainlined him for years.
What is it? It's so great that what's so great is that you and I think are both, we can be kind of detached or sort of the world is a joke, not super connected, but yet there's still part of us that can like plug into Bruce, which is the opposite of that. Yeah. Like there's not a funny thing about Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. No.
Nothing.
No.
It is like there's not
Pure,
a funny
earnest, heart on the sleeve.
Yeah. But you and I can get in. We can. We have it in our hearts to be open to that
and
stuff.
the hard part is that when you shift around, from point of view on the world.
Yeah.
It can be hard. It's hard for me because it's one of the reasons I call my book comedy drama is because a lot of people only know me from Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
And if they read this thing and there's all this, I mean, I'm not harsh in it at all, but I'm joking all the time.
Yeah,
and
there's
being sarcastic about things. And, it's like, you don't know me as that at all. You've never seen me do any of that.
And I wonder if is it exhausting to the people around us to be that?
To what? Have to shift point of view?
No, to be funny, to be what we think. Like, am I exhausting to be around?
For me, Tim, the hardest part is to read the room and to remind myself that I'm not. That some people don't know me as a funny, as a comedy guy at all. So they wouldn't understand if you're joking. Like, wait, what did you say?
That's a big problem,
insulted
right?
or hurt or. Yeah, they don't understand why you would say that thing.
Don't you hang around with people that aren't? We're always joking around, like when we're always hanging out with comedians, like constantly. You hang out with a different group of people, and they're like,
I don't get it.
Confused, right?
Yeah. Right.
You have to be like, oh, right. People aren't used to.
Right. You got to watch out. I mean, I got to really watch out because the audiences for these different projects are so vastly different.
I mean, when Eric and I did the press for $1 Billion Movie. It was really the first time anybody outside of this very small, specific, like the AV Club or something, suddenly we were doing, because they tried to release it a little bit bigger, we were doing interviews with junket interviews with like a local news station in Singapore, that kind of thing where you're just doing this. And we were so, not angry is the wrong word, but we're so jaded and just thought the world is a complete joke. Yeah. Let's use this opportunity to be smart-ass jackasses and entertain ourselves.
Right.
And it's funny.
Yeah, I know.
And some of it's funny to look at.
Right.
Some of it just feels like you guys are just assholes.
Yeah, because
they're not playing along, and they feel like they're
Right.
So
well, I'm glad you feel that way
now.
Yeah, I'm glad you have that perception of it's not. Because it's like. Well, people are at the least, to be generous, they're polite. Yeah. And they don't know what you're doing. They don't know your point of view. And maybe if they understood it better, they'd really enjoy your riff.
You've always said this to me, years of, what the great thing about you and I, or you in my life, we always joke around, call you the Godfather and everything. But especially in those early days, you were this voice of wisdom and counsel and feedback and perspective that was such a gift that we had, right? And you wasn't always on. It wasn't. You're not some. You don't have all the answers.
Not at all. Not
but
even close.
One of the things you would say often is like, people are busy. People don't have time to deconstruct and understand every little thing you're doing, and sometimes it's good to just present something that, a little more matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
Or
give them, it's that thing of, ask yourself, if a smart person who gives a shit is watching this, are there enough cues for them to know where to look for what's valuable, what's good?
Yeah.
If there aren't, if you can imagine,
then it's just masturbatory.
Then you're being a dick.
Yeah.
And you're being, It's just that whatever that thing is, a lot of times you want to make that project that you put out that you want to make excuses for right away. Of like, well, you have to understand, we didn't
Right.
We're not trying to make everyone happy. Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
only want to do this one thing. Just understand. It's like, okay, make sure that the cues about that are available for a smart person to see. And if a person who isn't paying attention doesn't see it, fuck them.
Right.
And if they're not smart, well, tough shit for you.
Yeah.
But it should be that sense of an audience who's intelligent and gives a shit enough, a little.
Yeah.
And you've given them a thing or two that tells them, here's where we're working. We're working over here.
I mean, I always joke that, like, if Andy Kaufman hadn't died, he would have broken character at some point, right?
Yeah.
He would have changed it up enough that he would be like,
Yes.
I'm going to do something different that's going to be more available to people.
Yeah.
Maybe. I might be wrong, but that's always been my thing. Is sort of like, if I'm going to be doing this for a long time, I have to have different modes. I have to be able to access just who I am and express myself and not be in a very narrow version of that.
I can't.
Yeah, and it's making sure the audience can have those clues to understand what they're seeing tonight.
I mean, it's still going to be my obsession. It's not an obsession, but I've been noticing this is the internet culture, the comment culture on YouTube videos. There's this weird instinct where people are saying, "I don't understand. I don't get this. What is this? Is this a bit?" Like, why would you write that? Why would you just step back and talk to a friend? Like the public announcement of "I don't get it" is a little embarrassing, right? Why would you ever
it makes
admit
you
that?
think that they think that room is a room full of people who are on their side, or what do they think the comment section is? I wonder. I don't know. It's a bunch of strangers. They don't know you.
They're
They
not
don't
talking
care
to each
about
other
you.
for the most part.
Yeah.
They're not It's not
to avoid the comments entirely.
Let's take a couple
That's
calls.
not the relationship that we have as
you and I
performers and artists with the world. It really isn't. We're not supposed to be taking ratings. That's for the rating service to do.
Yeah.
And it's not like we don't care what the audience thinks. We have a great show. Everyone laughs and claps. We're like, that went well.
Sure.
But
Is that Gilbert?
I love it. But it's just not the relationship we should have.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
did you like the joke? Did you like the joke?
Yeah.
Did you like the joke? Did you understand? It's just not what we should be
It's
doing.
so, it's like snack. It's like there's somebody brought, I think our intern Alec. It's Alec's last day today, by the way. Alec is saying goodbye to us. Hopefully we'll get him back. He brought in this delicious
He
candy
made
treats.
those?
He made these. Single-handedly wrapped them all. But it is like this. I can't resist this.
No.
And I can't resist looking there and being like, almost. The sad thing is the positive stuff. Almost.
Oh,
is a
nobody
neutral.
cares. Oh yeah, I'm with you, Tim.
Right. The
If I
positive
do,
stuff, like, good.
look at any critiques or reviews, a positive just goes right by me. Fuck it.
Yeah. Why is
Fuck it. Fuck it. Ah!
Yeah. Somebody got to the root of my own self-doubt.
Yes.
They see that I'm a fraud.
Yes.
They found out.
Yeah.
That I am shit.
This guy's right, but I want to beat the shit out of him.
Fucker.
But it's you shouldn't even look.
I know.
At all.
At least I can
rule.
At least I know that it's a problem.
It's a rule. I know you quit Twitter for a while. This was like years ago. But instead
Now I'm on
of how about
TikTok.
you quit the comments.
Yeah, I know. I want to turn them off. I joined TikTok because I talked to my music manager and I was like, shouldn't we like get into that and just at least so that like, let's say my new song Buddy kind of like gets taken up by some 16-year-old girl who does a dance with it, right?
Right.
There's careers that are being fucking blowing up because of that shit that you don't really have any control over. But, and I'm like, and again, people go, it's a cash grab, or are you trying to, what do you're just trying to game this. All I want to do is, like we all want to do, I think, is get to make the stuff we want to make, have enough people buy it or like it where I can keep doing that.
That's it.
And it's just that.
It's the only thing you're in it for. It's the only deal.
And it's the grind of feeling like, am I is all I do is promote my stuff, but nobody else is doing it. I'm literally, like, we have, of course, people that help, but it's me. It's just me saying, here's what I want to offer you.
I just think the reason why
you've been so nice
Twitter
about promoting
is an
like
issue is like it is an echo chamber when you do get into I'm going to argue for something on this.
Yeah.
It's not a good argument. It's not a good place to argue. It's just not.
Well, the dumb version of that is the Springsteen Live which I was clickbaity about this. I didn't mean to, but I just was excited because I was listening to it. I'm like, this is the best live album, no question, And then people go, hang on.
Yeah.
No, they go. The Last Waltz would like to have a word. Stop Making Sense would like to. Like, guys, I don't care.
Sugar Ray Live 98.
And then these people that like Rush came out of the woodwork. And then I said, I said, fuck Rush. And that was
I saw
explosive.
The fuck Rush.
It was fucked up.
Dude.
People are so mad.
By the way, I love bios. Like I love the Rush bio. Like I am not a big Rush fan.
The
at
documentary about Rush.
But I love the documentary.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm reading right now? It's a memoir of interviews.
Oral history.
Oral history.
Yeah.
That's the term. Oral history
Kinda gross
of
name,
like
don't you
hair
think?
metal called Nothing But a Good Thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm loving it.
Oh yeah.
I'm loving it. You got to get it.
That sounds
You're
great.
going to love it. By the
What about
way,
Please
you know
Kill
what's
Me?
fun
No,
about
the
it?
Please Kill Me is the
Yeah,
best one.
it's Please Kill Me,
Right,
but for hair metal.
Yeah. That sounds great. Because what were those
And
guys
you know what?
thinking they were doing?
Read
Like,
this.
what-
You'll
what-
find out.
Did they think they were making good music?
Yes,
Of
Tim.
course. Why wouldn't they?
And it makes you go, I got to listen to that song again. I
Yeah.
thought it was just a piece of shit. Meanwhile, they're writing about, he had this one song. I mean, all the rest was crap, but this was a beauty. I mean, this was amazing.
Right.
Is
that Rush? I felt like when I listen to Rush, I go, I'd rather listen to Heart. If I'm going to listen to Rush, I'll listen to Heart. What's the difference? Like the voice, Heart, the band. I know. I don't get it. I don't
get it either. And Patrick Fabian from Better Call Saul is a big prog rock guy. Yes.
Right.
ELP.
Sure. You said
Rush.
yes. I'm like, yes. But you know what it is? Like when Twitter first dropped, it felt like it was kind of a fun club hang on the internet that was like mostly people we knew. It was like inside jokes, and it was us. We all followed each other, all these comedians and all these people, and it was like we could talk shit, and we could fucking goof on each other, and then sounds elitist or something, but when the hordes start chiming in, I have to get used to the fact that I don't really have any interest in what anyone's favorite album
Nor
is.
should you. It's
I don't
not
know.
your...
Yeah, like I don't care if you think fucking, Frampton... Someone was like, Frampton Comes Alive is a better live album.
There's
like,
no way.
I don't want to know who you are if you think that. Can we just take a couple more calls, then we got to let Bob go? I got to get going.
I think it just
eat.
happens to be the biggest selling one.
Yeah, why would you say Frampton Comes Alive? Who's putting that on? It's time for me to listen to my Frampton Comes Alive album. I don't like all the hits
Or
on
their
there. I like the
kids,
deep
like,
cuts. Yeah.
You're 8 years old, and it's time to hear the greatest live
Sit down.
album in America ever.
Or somebody was kept bringing up this Little Feat album. I'm like, come on.
I can't. Little Feat. I can't get into that kind of soft rock. What is it?
It's like kind of jam, like country
jazzy.
rock.
It's got
Country
jazz
jam.
chords in it.
It's a
is
mess.
Please, no jazz chords.
The
Put them
beginning
away
of this,
and never use them again.
The beginning of this live album, because I was like, I'll listen to it. I'll put it on. You can put on anything these days with streaming. I'll check it out. The beginning is this guy comes out, and it's like in the 70s. It's like an arena rock thing. Goes, all right, everybody, let's hear it. Everybody with me, go F, right?
Yeah.
E.
What the hell?
E.
A.
A.
T.
T.
Little Feet, bring them out. Like everyone's
What good is that?
chanting
What a
feet.
waste of time. Oh, by the way, what about a band called Gentle Giant that I actually saw in concert? I don't even know why.
That's like the proggiest of
What
the
is
prog.
happening? You know who else I saw live once? Pat Metheny. It's because it was there. I went and saw it. But I don't know what to do with that. I'm sure there's brains that works wonderfully on. but not mine.
If I'm gonna go see one of those, you better have a seat for me. I'm not. There's shows where you're standing there watching like guys.
Well, I used
jam.
to do a joke that only I liked. I'd say do impersonation of Pat Metheny waking up with a melody in his head. Give me a piece of paper.
Get it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Get that down. Please, a couple of calls, Tom. Override us.
Yeah, we have Hannah here. Hannah?
Hannah?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, where are your sisters at?
I don't have any.
Jesus, you
Hi there.
can't do what he
I get it.
You can't do it.
So I actually wanted to ask this question to you, Tim, last week, and then when I saw Bob was on, I got so fucking stoked because I'm
so stoned?
absolutely obsessed with. Well, that too. I got stoked, like on a sick way.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I want to put you on the spot here and ask you what some of your favorite Mr. Show sketches are.
For me?
Yes, for you. Well, or anyone who wants to answer.
Boy, I mean, you put me on the spot. I mean, Fallujah's got to be the best, right?
Oh, that's great.
I have one easy. Yeah. Can I use this chair?
Oh yeah,
the best sketch.
I mean,
best sketch of all time. But also one with the competing grocery stores.
Oh yeah,
that's great. It's been a long. Frankly, honestly, and all due respect, it has been a while since I sat down and watched the show.
The crime stick one,
of course,
that guy.
and the billiars.
Yeah, that's all right. I know a lot of people like that. I
loved
like
that
it as
one.
much, but yeah.
I also there's one. This might have been the line that changed my life.
Yeah,
changed my thinking about comedy, and I don't know why it is this, but it is. I do remember it. You know what? For whatever, it's Pumpkin Any.
Yeah,
that line, right?
By the way, my Hollywood star is right where I did that dance.
Oh yeah, that was like a Corey Feldman.
But
spoof or something,
right. But the whole thing was about how they reused the footage. They
that
might
might
have
have been
of footage, and then they just
that might have been the actual thing that changed my comedy brain.
Yeah, you
that,
saw it.
The same, like reusing that got funnier and funnier.
Well, it is very
and
much a Tim and Eric kind of thing because it's about the presentation or the
media itself.
Yeah. And we didn't do a lot of that, but that moment we had all, of course, noticed that they did that. They reused a little bit of footage, and that is right where my star is, right where I did that stupid fucking dance.
Well, full circle.
Hey, caller, what's your favorite?
Good question, Doug.
I actually thought about this in the shower this morning, but I like, what's the one? It's like Bob and David are driving in like a convertible. And one of them is like giving directions while also trying to talk about how he's like dying of cancer.
Oh my God! Nobody's ever said that was their favorite. I think that's cool. I
don't
have to
even
watch it
remember
again. It's a kind of it's a challenging sketch. It's we did it live, and it was a little car we were in, and with a film behind us, and he's trying to tell me about. He's got a cancer diagnosis, and I'm trying to find out where we're going. But okay. But
brain
do I
bone
take
and
it right or left? Something like that, right?
Yeah. And at the end, it's like you're all like, oh, I'm trying to put your seatbelt on and like frantically scrambling to prepare for the crash.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, you know who I also
remember
love?
it that well.
Now it's flooding back.
Well,
I
want. I got some more too flooding back.
Well, let me flood back one thing.
You flood.
I just dropped. Talk to me about the stuffy nose guy.
Oh yeah, that's my friend from childhood.
Is that it? Would you have things in your ears?
He had blood coming out of his ear.
Did you have cotton balls in there? No. But it was just a stuffy nose.
Oh,
guy.
I stuck cotton way up here, way up.
So you could sound that way.
Yeah. Also, it changes your face a little, the shape of your face,
like
and
supremely dumb. Supremely dumb guy. Yeah.
That shut him up.
Yeah, that's the voice. Yeah, and that breathing through the
yeah.
It's fun. I kind of stole that character in Awesome Show, I think, a little bit. There was that guy, Mr. Lucky Duck, and I had cotton balls in the ears, and I had a little mustache, and I was doing Sudoku.
Oh.
And just you saw the. And we call it Mr. Lucky Duck because he would get something like a refill of orange juice, and he'd be like, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think I wear my glasses like
glasses pulling the eyes down.
It's just like, we're so, not to get all gushy again, we're so privileged and lucky to be fairly reasonable, normal, functioning people.
Yeah.
We have the luxury of kind of laughing at this kind of person. You know what I mean? But that's how we grew up.
What
It was
about
kind of
this
like-
sketch? I think you'd love it. Is the Sad Songs Awards?
Oh, Brian Wilson.
Yeah, the
with
Brian
the
Wilson.
sores on
Mouthful
my-
of Sores.
Mouthful of Sores, of
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I
And
also
just
love-
all that award speak.
Yeah,
you know.
that's like we would just like go and work with, like when I heard when I heard Sgt. Pepper's, it was like, whoa, man, you know? that's Gershwin, you know. What's yours? Is that what it was gonna be?
Oh, I got a couple. I got the blooper battle, where the ultimate blooper. What's a Gagortion?
Yeah. We're
I'm sorry,
showing
your son is
clips
too old to
from
have an abortion. And anyway, shit, what was the other one?
Well, the Titanica sketch, which is in the book.
Oh, yeah,
that's got to be one of
Titanica.
the greatest things that's
biggest
ever happened.
laugh I've ever heard.
Yeah,
like
you say that in the book.
orchestrate, like the
In
laugh
the room.
was so in the moment. A whole crowd of people
crying,
all hit hard, and the biggest laugh.
Yeah,
I'd never heard anything like it.
Oh, and then when David burns his body and the burn.
That's what
victim?
we're talking about.
That's the same one, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, I mean, I think I was such a sucker for your British guys. So you're the
I
kiss
loved
the
him.
pan,
Yeah, kiss the
touch
pan.
touch the
Yeah.
pan, and it has
Pan
that
touches you.
It has the Liverpudlian, like because we're
well,
both
it's a
Beatle
mess.
freaks.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. Yeah, I love that. You're not a good.
I
fucking
can't do British accent.
What I
That's
think
why
about
love
a lot.
doing it.
Yeah.
I
Tim,
love
is-
singing too, which I can't do.
Bob,
It's just-
when you're saying goodbye at the bar, I think you're with Jay Johnston. And
that's
that
a
one I
great
think about a
piece.
lot because it happens to me a lot.
Oh yeah,
You know
where
that one,
the
Tim,
two
where they're
guys say
saying
goodbye to
goodbye?
each other and
Dude,
then they
I
see
was
each
think-
other.
I
right
was
away.
about to.
Want to see something, Tim?
Yeah.
Look at this.
But I was about
Wanna
to
see
propose.
something?
What is it?
That's Paul McCartney's home, childhood home.
Shit, it's not. Paul's not there.
No, but I was in the house.
They're opening that up as a.
This is me.
Well, let me
a
show the
month
audience.
ago.
Show the camera.
This is me a month ago. Well, I'd show other people.
You
Is
know,
that okay?
That's where we lived. You know, we didn't have anywhere else to
Look
live.
at this. Look at this.
Bob,
How do I show it to the crowd?
Just put it into this camera here. Good morning. Put it into this camera, Bob.
Here's the outdoor. Oh. First, let's start on
you know,
Paul's.
That's where we lived. You know, that was nothing
Here's
to it.
start on Paul's outdoor toilet, and then you see his backyard.
Rocket, man.
And then you'll see the guide showing us a photo of Paul climbing that drain pipe.
That's where
when he
they
would
wrote
come
Love
home
Me
to
Do.
live.
Oh, you're not playing. Yeah, it's a completely frozen video.
frozen.
Well,
It's getting better.
what were you doing there? Were you there on?
I was
business?
doing a book tour,
Sit down, sit down.
and how come it won't play, guys? Is it because I need internet? Oh wait, here it's going. Here it's going.
That's Paul's rubbish bin. You know the line Dana Carvey does about Paul, the micro impression. He goes, Paul McCartney showing up on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't think it would be so red. Makes me laugh every time.
He did not do. Do podcasts ever talk to each other? Somebody has to. Is
We're
it
good.
done?
Sit down. Sit down.
All right. Wait. It didn't work or not?
We got enough of it.
All right.
get
Well,
it.
whatever.
You were there. You
Okay.
were at his
So
house.
listen. It was the greatest, Tim. It was the greatest. And by the way, if you go to Liverpool, you have to call the number, and you got it.
You can
It's
get a
the
tour.
state. It's the government
Right.
runs the thing. But there's great historians who will
Yeah.
take you around the house. It's a tiny, tiny house. It's unbelievable.
I mean,
it's so fucking cool.
Fred's over
so
there. Right?
cool.
Let me ask you the last question. Maybe not the last question. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. But
Yeah.
who are the funniest people that you? I'm not leading you to me.
I think I've put you on the
You
list.
have, but
And you know that.
but
I think
who are
Bill
the-
Murray,
I mean,
I
no,
heard,
but no,
might be challenging off stage.
But I want to say in your personal life, like who makes you laugh out of all the people you know? Like,
well, David Cross.
yeah. Got to say that. I understand.
No,
I'm just
he's
kidding. I'm just
really,
kidding. I'm just
really
kidding.
funny
I know he is.
all
Yeah.
the time.
See, I always got to be on guard with him, a little bit.
Really?
Well,
I don't
because he's
feel
very
that
quick.
way.
He's quicker than anybody.
Yeah.
And I
But
got
he
to
doesn't
make
go for easy stuff.
No,
you
I'm
know,
not
where you
saying-
say something dumb and then somebody makes fun of you, and you're like, yeah, well, I slipped
Yeah.
up, whatever.
But David Cross.
My brother Bill is really funny with a joke, with a quip. I mean,
In person, like
yeah,
not
it'll
working, just sitting around.
The more he's not working, the funnier he is. The more he relaxes,
Yeah.
the funnier he is. And it's great. And it strangely, I think my dad was funny like that. I don't have proof,
Right.
but I think when I think about his energy, I think that was.
He just
when I-
had that gift of being able to
Well,
like.
it's like a little cynical and it's just a good little joke, a little wisecrack, but really genuinely funny. You know, a lot of people who I don't hang out with a lot, but I'm always happy when I do. David Spade, Zach,
Just a naturally funny.
Zach
of
Galifianakis.
course, yeah.
I think Tim Heidecker is in the top
20.
3 of the funniest people I have seen perform and do comedy on the planet.
We're gonna get a
He's
lot of
gonna be way
complaints.
the fuck up there.
Well, I'm just saying we're gonna get a
and
lot
Zach,
of complaints.
And
I would put Fred up there.
Fred is great. Yeah, Fred is way up there.
Fred,
yeah. And
Fred
unique,
is funny in a
uniquely
way.
funny.
My thing is Fred's funny in a way in person, maybe funnier in person than I've ever seen him. He's done very funny things. He's been in a lot of funny
Yes.
things.
Oh, I know what
but
you mean. Yeah.
In the room together as
Fred
a person.
Willard.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Fred Willard.
If you're waiting for a hug, you might want to pack a lunch.
And of course,
and David, by the way, and David's material is great, but just sitting around talking, like nobody funnier than David walking down the street, looking at people
David
saying
Spade.
stuff. David Spade.
And you would say Chris Farley was that way when
Farley was ridiculously funny, but there's another level to him of like warmth and kind of human heart, you know, heart on display,
Right.
and very funny, very funny. Yeah. Who else? I think I nailed.
I mean, you
I think
can
that's everybody.
please,
Honestly,
go
I think
back
that's
and revise.
everybody.
Some people are very, create great comedy, but aren't necessarily the funniest people to be around.
Absolutely. I
mean, Greg.
I've done some good stuff, but I don't think I'm joking all the time.
You're not always joking. I think.
Not even close.
Yeah. I mean, Greg Turkington, for me, being around him.
Yeah.
I mean, funny in his DNA, like just make anything into a joke.
Yeah. It's a small list. And then there's a huge list of just funny people who are fun to be around and make great stuff.
Yeah, some of my people on my list would be people that, aren't in the business at all. Just people that I think are really funny naturally that
Tim,
are doing other things.
Who's on the top of the duds? Who's not funny?
Oh, I'm not going to get into that. It's not that kind of show.
Come on, Tim.
The duds
That's
list.
the list I want to know about.
Listen, all I can say is the list is long.
The top of the duds is long?
I think the thing that I most envy is a kind of an ease of funny that I don't have. I just don't. And it's okay. There's all kinds of ways to be funny, and I think I've done great stuff. But I think, Peter Cook is probably the funniest guy who ever lived because he was so naturally.
People aren't going to know. I mean, people might know who it is.
Is Bill Murray, Tim Heidecker, ease. Okay? But married also with incredible reference points.
Yeah.
Because of his education, I don't know, whatever. But that's a unique combo.
Where do you find the Peter Cook that would turn
Derek
our
and
audience?
Clive.
Right.
Derek and Clive, but listen to Peter. I mean, listen to both of them, but pay
steering
attention to what he's doing.
He's steering the ship.
Because he's always taking it in a surprising, less strenuous place.
Right.
I'd be the Dudley Moore in that world.
Yeah.
I'm like, wrenching the comedy concept over here, and it's perfectly great.
Yeah.
That's a great place to take it. But then he comes in without trying and just slips in a thing that trumps it, undercuts it, pulls the legs out, but takes it to a beautiful another place. I mean, that's
Derek and
I love
Clive. I mean, that I want to do one of my life goals is to somehow, and I would maybe want to do it with Fred. He would be the first person I would think of doing this with, for whatever reason, because of the way we kind of can goof around naturally, is to do that move of just getting into a recording studio.
Right.
And having cameras roll.
Right.
Shoot for fucking 3 nights.
Right.
And get an hour out of that.
Right.
Or something. Whatever it would be, it would seem like it would, like, because there's a movie you could watch on YouTube, Derek and Clive, I don't know what it's called, but it is that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's them in this, them drinking and smoking and being like in a recording studio at night.
There's a book of, if you're curious who Peter Cook is, and you should be, a book his brother wrote called Tragically, I Was an Only Twin. And it's really great in that his brother wrote it, so there's little bio passages.
Right.
And then there's just transcriptions of comedy bits that he did in college, you know, and in a movie, on radio.
You gave this book to me as
and he
a
did
gift.
all this radio stuff when he was older. I think he had a little struggle with the bottle, and he couldn't get out of bed much sometimes.
Right.
But he would just do a radio, call into a radio show and be this character and be fucking amazing.
Right. All right, well, get that book. Get this book. I'm going to do this.
All right.
Get this book at double. You know what happened to me yesterday? I go, because I thought maybe I'd get a book in the mail. I don't know. You know, who knows? So I'm holding out for that. Holding out for the fucking.
Waiting for the mailman to come down the street.
Waiting for the paperback. But I said, you know what? I should just have this. And it's hard to get. I haven't been to a bookstore.
Yeah.
But I go to Barnes and Noble in the Glendale Americana.
Yeah, brand. Yeah.
I get there at 10:30 thinking I'll just sail in there.
Nobody will bother me. Get in and out.
Get in and out.
Nobody gets hurt.
This Barnes and Nobles doesn't open up until 11 a.m. What kind of hours are those for a fucking big bookstore? Wouldn't you think they'd be open 9, 10 at the
I don't
latest?
understand bookstores that close on a Sunday.
Oh yeah. When are you when are people going to the bookstore? On Sundays.
Hey,
But-
what do you got?
But seriously, 11 a.m. you're not opening up? Oh! It's like worse than a bank. Anyways, and I was just devouring it yesterday, all day.
Oh, good.
So great. So read it. Really, again, just unbelievable to read about our history together and the kind
Well, I
words
hope I
you
got
have
it
to say.
right. We did do that interview right down the street, and I transcribed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more.
I had to
obviously you have to
interview
cut
people.
some corners.
Yeah.
You want everyone's. You don't want it just to be
Partly
your-
because I don't remember stuff.
I don't
so
remember.
I have to ask.
I don't remember anything.
I know. That's going to be the challenge. And by the way, you're going to have to write a fucking memoir. And you got a couple of years. You got a decade or so.
Should I start chipping away at it, or should I just sit down?
In
and do it?
about 5 years, you should. Yeah, because it sucks. So get started.
Yeah. I'm gonna have
Get
to turn it
started
on its
early.
ear. I'm gonna have to write it in a different way.
But then,
but
can I
then
just say something? Calm down, please.
Exactly.
Because, listen.
Just let go of the
people want
ideas.
to hear what happened to you, and if you turn it into an art project, and I'm going to tell the story from made up. Everything's going to be made up.
Yeah,
it's going to be my memoir, but I'm going to make up the whole
Oh, it's
thing.
a total goof. Why do you read it?
Yeah,
It's a
great.
complete goof.
Thanks. It's not. That's the whole fucking point.
No one wants that.
Yeah, I hear you.
They want the real Tim.
Although you know,
Well, they
phony,
do.
a
Tim
phony-
will
I
write it
do.
about you.
I want it.
A phony,
I want
a
to
phony,
know what
a,
happened.
a phony memoir from my own cinema character could be a fun little side
Now,
project.
to talk about Norm Macdonald's book, and I'm so glad he wrote it.
I never read it, but it's full
It's
of
what we're talking about. He's
Right.
sort of real, and then it becomes totally unreal.
Right.
And he does it over and over and over. God,
I watch Norm Macdonald
The
clips.
crazy thing is, I got the phone call from Ben Greenberg to say, do you think you should write a memoir? I think you should. And I go, oh, I know what I'm going to do. On the call, he called me. I go, I'm going to start with reality, and then it's going to become fantasy.
drift.
And he goes, Norm Macdonald is doing that. His book was like, it came out 3 weeks later.
Right.
So
you didn't know.
Ben had already read it.
Right.
Because he's a publisher, an editor in New York. He goes, Norm Macdonald just did that. It's coming out in 3 weeks. Oh, fuck.
You were the guy to do that.
But then also, no. Because you know what? I mean, I'm glad Norm did it, and he did it really well. It's just, I want to know what happened to you.
Yeah. How did you become who you are?
I want to know whether, I know you're tired of talking about SNL. I know you're tired of talking about the show that didn't go.
Yeah,
that
but
you
have
loved.
have it written down somewhere.
I like that shit.
Right.
I want to hear it.
Well,
so
listen.
fucking don't joke about it. Tell me what happened and leave me alone,
If
and I'll
you
buy
get-
your book.
If you get caught down a Norm Macdonald YouTube rabbit hole, it's the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Him doing that talk show, which, by the way, we produced this Jash thing that we used to do.
Oh, yeah.
Jash produced this Norm Macdonald talk show that's all on YouTube. And it's him and his friend just telling jokes. And, oh, my God. I watched this clip where he was just reading about Hitler for the first time.
Oh, my God.
And you hear this, this guy used to be the president of the National Socialist Party. And then, hang on. And then he gets into, it's like as if he's hearing about Hitler for the first time. It's the funniest thing. He goes, this guy's got a very interesting look in his eyes. It's like his eyes are all black. You know, it's just like, what an odd duck. He called him an odd duck.
I love his Hitler stuff. And then when he talks about and people going, he was such a speaker. Oh boy, what a but you couldn't avoid, you couldn't deny his power and strength.
Yeah.
And then you see footage, you're like, that's a crazy man. Yeah. I'm not following that guy anywhere.
Well, I do this thing, a joke. It was in the movie, the comedy. I put it in there, but I had saw this History Channel thing where they're saying he had this indigestion. Hitler had this indigestion. He couldn't eat anything. And so you see these old speeches, and they would always cut this part of it, but some of them they keep in where he's, and then you go, you see him, he's like letting out burps, you know?
Oh my
it's
God.
Fool. It's nuts.
Fucking.
All
Hey,
right, we
Tim, I
have
just
to
noticed something. Look at these two sizes.
Yeah, one's,
Wait, there's a
one's
small
from
version?
England.
Is this like the Pro Plus? Or is
No,
this
that's from England.
That one you
The
can stick
bigger
up your
ones-
ass
this
with
is
no
England?
problems.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I got the import.
You got the import.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Well, I don't know what this one is, but
think-
Bob, I
All right,
love you,
thank you.
and I'm so happy
Thanks for
you
having
came
me.
by, and we'll do it in
I'm
a
so
couple
glad
years.
I got to do it. Yeah.
I hope you had fun.
Thanks.
Sorry
I
for all
did.
the bits.
I had a great
they're
time.
fun bits.
You gotta
I
have
love
a
you
bit.
guys too. I really do.
Sorry, guys. We'll get to your questions next week. I'll text Bob your questions, and he'll write me back.
All right.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye, Doug.
Bye, Tim.
Let's pray
Bye,
for
Bob.
Vic's dog.
Yes.
I need an update on that fucking dog.
Hours after hours, you are the exclusive members of a very.
Thank you for listening. I write just for you, but others hearing this may find things they would argue. I do not sing what I believe,